on purpose. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah, I need a little bit of energy before we start going.
No, we're live now, baby.
You ready?
We're live.
We're on there?
We're live.
They can hear me? Mics are live?
Yep.
Mics are hot. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. It's Friday, February 25th. It's a little chilly. It's Mardi Gras weekend. A little light crowd. It's okay. I wasn't expecting a ton. Hopefully we got a bigger crowd listening and watching. We got a big show today, boys. We got a little LSU baseball talk. Let's not press the panic button. I know it was a tough loss on Wednesday night, but some tough weather, some tough stuff going on. We'll get over it. Fourth game of the season, I'm not worried. We got a little basketball talk today, some NFL, some NBA, some MLB, and most importantly, I am back from the dead in the gambling world, boys.
Unbelievable comeback.
I had zero money left in my account 2 days ago. Zero.
Literally.
Zero money. I had everything. I had all my money. I had all my cards on the table. I laid them all out there. Vulnerable. Came out 6-1. Right? I was like, okay, this is a good day. The next day, 3-1. I'm right back in there, boys. I got my money back. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. Feeling ready to go. Our guy is hot. Our guy is super hot.
9-2.
You think he's 9-2 or 8-2 over the last 2 days?
And when he lost, he just missed.
I tell you what, both of y'all are smacking me because ever since Super Bowl Sunday, I just been rolling downhill the wrong way.
Hey, we got a little.
You'll rise.
We got. Hey, look,
Yeah.
NBA's back. NBA is back. We're gonna talk a little bit about NBA. We're gonna give you a little update. We're gonna give you the cliff notes of the NBA season. It's post All-Star break. Who's hot? Who's not? Who's doing what? Maybe you can, give you a little information so you can put some bets in there, make some bets, win some money. I know that's how I win some money. I love betting first half, second half, over-unders in the NBA. All-Star break kind of screwed me a little bit. It was a little tough. College basketball has been rough, except for the Kentucky game. LSU Kentucky game, I'm watching. I'm sitting in my bedroom. I'm sitting in my bed. My wife is sleeping. It's 10:30 because this game is going forever. I'm sitting there. I'm watching it, and I'm dozing off, and I'm waking up, and I'm dozing off, and I'm waking up. All of a sudden, LSU's down 15. I'm like, okay. I really want to go to sleep, but I can't because I have LSU plus 7.5. I was like, maybe they'll figure this thing out. Maybe they're gonna have a late run. Maybe they're gonna backdoor this spread. Maybe they're gonna cover. So I'm watching, I'm waiting. All of a sudden, 1-3 happens. All of a sudden, another 3 happens. All of a sudden, Kentucky forgets how to play basketball. They can't get the ball inbounds. Calipari, first of all, they turn the ball over. Then they have a 10-second penalty, a 5-second or 10-second call, 5-second call, a walking penalty. Then they have 2 timeouts throwing the ball inbounds. They can't get the ball inbounds. I'm like, this is LSU get down to 4. Got back down to 4 points. I'm like, this win. That was the last bet of the day. I'm like, this puts me at 6-1. This gives me a lot of my money back.
Something about LSU basketball when they play with chickens with their head cut off, they're at their best.
Well, it was a tale of 2 halves, wasn't it? Like LSU played in the first half, and I was like, oh my God. And Lloyd, what did you do after the first half?
I did what every LSU fan
What'd you do?
does.
No, you do what a degenerate does.
I saw the first half, and I was like, everybody knows Kentucky's about to make a comeback. I was watching with my boys, and I was like, we should hop on Kentucky. And we all looked at each other, and we're like, we're hopping on LSU. We know it's a loss. It's pay-per-view. $10 down just to watch the rest of the game.
You knew
Total
better
mistake.
than that.
Knew it. I knew
LSU
it. But I thought betting maybe reverse the thing around,
Nope.
just because I knew it was LSU
You knew they
minus
couldn't
1.5.
They weren't gonna play like they played the first half.
I knew exactly what was going to
Second half.
happen.
No shot.
No shot. So, charge it to the game.
Not the whole game.
Literally not the whole game.
Not the whole game.
That couldn't happen. I would have
And-
loved for it to happen, but that couldn't happen, right?
Our under for LSU baseball did not hit.
I tell you what, the 2 guys
It's
with the
hard
most
to-
baseball experience on the show Wednesday got
Hey,
smacked.
if you want to listen to college
We didn't hit
baseball
the
bets, don't
under.
listen
We
to
got
me.
the L. Don't look at me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting 6 errors.
No.
Not 6
Couldn't draw
errors
that
in
up.
one game. For the life of me, I don't know why I can't catch a damn ball on the carpet.
I'm like watching what's going on. I'm like, boy, I think we still at the hotel.
Hey, it
defense,
was
not
look,
really
it was
there.
tough conditions. It was cold. It was rainy. All turf fields. That should be illegal in baseball. You shouldn't have it. You should never be able to say, you know what, we're gonna play baseball on carpet, because when it gets like guys were, that's dangerous. Guys are sliding. They have to slide halfway through.
Oh yeah, you'll slide
They're
right
sliding
past
through
the
every
Right
bag.
past the bag. If you
Past the
slide
bag.
feet first, your foot gets stuck and you roll over, you roll your ankle. You know what I mean? Like that's a hard thing. I'm not making excuses for them. They played terrible. They got outplayed Who's their leadoff hitter?
I don't know, but the kid was
Louisiana
all
Tech.
Taylor Young.
That guy, Taylor
was
Young.
all world.
Taylor Young.
Taylor Young.
Wait, time out. You know you feeling this? I told you this the other night. You know you feeling yourself. It was probably his third or fourth at bat. The kid's walking up to the plate and he is singing his walkout song.
First of all,
I was
let's
watching
talk-
him.
let's talk
I'm
about
like, oh,
let's talk about his walkout
right
song.
Really good.
His
Yeah, go
walkout
ahead,
song
tell
was
about
"A Baby." What are we doing?
Hurricane Chris.
What are we doing?
That's Louisiana.
That's
I
the
don't
area.
care.
That's Louisiana.
There's way better Louisiana rappers. So I guess he's from Shreveport, right? Hurricane Chris. Isn't he from up there? Up north of Louisiana, maybe. Maybe that's why. But A Baby is one of the worst walkout songs I have heard. But the guy balled out.
I tell you what.
He almost hit for the cycle.
They're
Hey.
missing a single.
Hey,
Now the triple, I will up for debate. Okay, the triple should have been an out. I will say that.
you hit a cold streak this year, though. You might want to think about it.
Hey,
Let me
hey,
go through
baby.
in there.
Hey, now there's some. If I hit a cold streak, I have a list of walkout songs that I will change my
Hey,
song to.
Buddy didn't miss a barrel
give
all
me-
night. I'm just saying.
No, he did not miss a
didn't
barrel.
miss a barrel
This
all
guy
night.
went Oppo Taco. This guy went Oppo
Wait,
triple.
he went Apple Taco after he
Oppo-
got his doors blown off the pitch
Yeah,
before.
no doubt. And he said, "Oh, you can throw it again? Okay, I'll hit it out." And he knew it. He knew it. He hit it and jogged out the box. He knew it the minute he hit the ball. He knew the ball was gone.
What is this?
I don't know.
Did you see? Everybody's doing it now. Whenever they hit a yak, Dugas did it in the whole.
Is that the LSU thing?
No, I don't know. Because if he did it in its LSU thing, it was a shot across the bow. Like he was making a statement saying, "No, LSU does this." He hit a home run. He did it when he crossed the
you're
plate.
talking about Taylor, the third baseman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what this means. I know this. I don't
Look,
know.
I'll show you.
I don't know what that means, but they outplayed LSU in every facet of that game, which
From start to finish.
it happens. I mean, they came out flat. First of all, you could kind of see how this game was going to unfold a little bit the way it started, right? You had the triple and right center field gap that probably should have been caught, right? It was recorded as a hit. It wasn't an error. It should have been caught. Wasn't caught. Triple, right? Then you had the nubbers that were just finding holes in the infield. Guys were getting infield singles, tough plays. The first inning wasn't very easy, and it was bad weather. So then the guys are sitting out there.
They blew it open. If you remember that inning, there wasn't anything special that happened. It was literally them just battling every single at bat, tough out, bat on the ball, find a little hole, bat on the ball, walk. It was just,
Yeah, it wasn't like they were hitting balls
they weren't
hard.
doing anything crazy.
They weren't hitting balls hard. They weren't doing a lot of things that would make you think like, damn, this team is dominating the game. You just look at the game, you're like, damn, LSU's losing it, right? They lost the game because they didn't make the plays. It's their first road game of the season. You're going to, I know it was Louisiana Tech. It wasn't SEC, but Louisiana Tech's a top 15
Number
team in the
15.
country,
Yeah.
right? And that's a tough environment. It was a pro Louisiana Tech crowd. Normally, we had talked about this a little bit before the game, but normally when you go on the road, midweek games in state, it's pro LSU. No matter where you go in the state, now maybe if you go to UL, but you're gonna have a lot of LSU fans at the games, no matter where you go. You went to Louisiana Tech, I guarantee that was 90% Bulldog fans. So it was a tough environment for a team that is very highly ranked, a regional host, and you can't go there not expecting or not ready to put out your best. And it's the fourth game of the season. I get it. I thought our starter threw a fine. I thought he threw fine. I thought he had some bad luck.
Well, it's got to be a PFP coach. We got to get back on the rubber.
Make the error. The starter didn't make the error.
that was-
I know. I'm just saying as a whole that, like you said, it was sloppy. And then you saw some.
PFP, when you have the ball.
We got to step and throw over there. What are we
We're playing
doing?
on turf.
I personally, and this is the only reason why I said LSU and under, because I personally think I was like, for me, especially when you have a team that believes that they are a good team, like an in-state school that believes they're a good team, it doesn't really matter if they're ranked or not.
And they want to beat the shit out
But
of us.
I'm not convinced that from number one down to the end of our roster, as we take that travel every year in and year out, thinks that, hey, this is a big game. And so I feel like they play up, and we have more guys that play down in those situations.
No doubt.
And it's tougher to actually be in those games and win those games. That's
No
my
doubt.
personal-
There's a lot of things that they need to improve on. There's a lot of it's stuff that you expected. It's stuff that
But the
is
truth-
normal at the beginning of the
The truth of
season.
the matter is they came into the season and there was question marks, right? So it's good that you kind of get smacked early
Yeah.
instead of them going 14-0 in the first 15,
No doubt.
14-1
There's-
first 15, and now they
look.
think that they're way better than what they are. Like, this wasn't an experienced
No.
team coming in. Like, we knew there was going to be
Now,
question
and Louisiana Tech was. Louisiana Tech had a lot of guys coming back.
Exactly.
They were regional. They were riding high. They're playing at home against LSU. And what was the quote? I'm looking at the quote. So Taylor Young, your boy, who went off. I think he had 4 hits. 4 hits?
3 hits.
Huh?
He was 3 for 4.
3 for 4.
Yeah.
Missed in the single for the cycle.
No. It was because the ball he hit the center was a missile right at
Oh, yeah. Right.
Locked in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So his quote was, "We outplayed them in every aspect, and that is what we expected."
I don't know about that,
But people are upset. Like, he should feel that way.
Yeah.
They did.
That's how. Like, you're not a bad team that's playing LSU that just upset them. You're a team that's ranked in the top 20. You expect
hosted
to
regional.
win those
hosted
games.
regional who brought the same team back. Yeah,
Right.
you expect
to win the game. So, like, I have no problem with him saying that. Like, if you don't say that, then there's something wrong.
They should be saying the same thing if Vandy came there
No doubt.
on Wednesday night. Like,
Anybody
they
that
should
comes to
expect
play
that.
there at their place, they should say, "We expect to win."
Yeah.
And that's the mindset. I don't. People like shouldn't get mad at that. I think that's. And he's right. They did outplay them. LSU made officially 5 errors. Probably should have been 7. You know, if they really would have had a scores. The scores keeper was tough. Maybe 7 errors that they made. They got out hit. Obviously outscored. The under didn't hit because who was going to expect Louisiana Tech to score 11 runs? You know, nobody expects us to.
Who was going to expect 5 errors? Like,
Right. No doubt.
If I put 5 errors in any game, there's whatever the over
You can't give it. AR, you want
Ranaudo,
you
Jesus, get out of here. I know.
He's eating all the food
That's
over
not on
there.
F45's diet. I know that.
He's eating all the food over there. I was like, come on, sit up here. Let's go.
He's
Let's
in
go.
the
It's
green
open.
room over
The
there.
chair's open. Let's go. Get up here. Jump in here.
Seats not taken.
But and we'll get more into it. Well, go ahead.
How concerning is the 5 to 6 errors to you?
That's not concerning to me.
Microcosm.
That's not concerning to me at all. To me, because it's
As long as it's not a trend.
hey, dude, they're playing on a
Wet turf.
They're playing on wet turf. They're taking ground balls on grass.
I said, let me tell you, first off, like if you played on all turf field, it plays way faster than you ever thought. And those guys are not really that used to that. And then now you mix in, it's 30 degrees with the wind blowing and it's
wet.
raining. It's
Wet.
skipping even
Wet,
faster.
wet.
Like you can't really get ready for
Got
this.
the little water tail coming off of it.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Then the ball. I don't want to say it's wetter, but it may be wet. It may be more wet than it would be on grass. It just everything speeds up. Everything's a lot faster. The ball skip. You slide past bags. It's just a lot. I think it was a turf mound. Am I right?
Everything there. I told you. Everything
That sounds
was
like a
turf.
nightmare.
That should be illegal. Yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna
over.
announce my presence.
You're over the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna announce my
You're over the thing.
presence.
We're letting
I'm here now.
we're letting people on the street hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
we're
that.
letting them know.
Yeah.
All 5 people we got in the stands. We're letting them know. You know what I mean?
It's all right.
I
It's cold, that's
do.
why.
I do. Before we get going, I do want to give props to all my sponsors for making this happen. We have Heineken and Dos Equis. We have Doe's Eat Place. Obviously, we're here at Fred's. It's Fred's Friday. So thank you to all the wonderful people at Fred's. Thank you to my producers, to my guys who made this happen. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for my light and video guys. Appreciate that. And audio. What is it? Sounds good.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good. It sounds good. It sounds
It does
great.
sound
Sounds good.
Don't overthink it.
That's no, you can't overthink it.
Yeah.
That's how people. And
Sounds good.
obviously, last but not least, let's save the best for last. Is Sterling Automotive. Mik'd is brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Would not be able to make this happen without all of our sponsors. So, before we get caught getting very ADD and moving on to all the other sports headlines, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's made this possible. We kind of hit on a little bit of LSU basketball. It was a tale of 2 halves.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. I mean, it's.
And I feel like it happened quick.
I was.
too.
We had
What do you
talked.
mean
We
out of
spoke
the
a
gate
little
in
bit
the second
earlier.
half?
Yeah, but I was just like, I did a podcast interview and I had my back to the game for a minute, and after halftime I turned around, I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, this is exactly when Kentucky came to LSU the first time. Same thing. LSU had a good first half. They go in the second half. The second half starts and Grady comes up and hits 3 threes in a row. It's a 9-0 run at home, and I'm like, and LSU was able to right the ship and win that game. This game we're up 8 points at halftime, and we give up like a 12-0 run to start the second half, and all of a sudden we just forgot how to play basketball. We forgot how to run offense. Our half-court offense is very suspect to begin with. Right to begin with, but they were playing better in the second half. They just forgot. And then you have Tari Eason, who fouls out with 10 minutes to go in the game. That can't happen.
For like
Cannot.
the 6th
And
time this year.
and they weren't
Yeah.
good fouls.
And he doesn't even start. Imagine if he started too. Like,
They're not good fouls.
no.
He had 2 fouls back to back that was frustration fouls.
Sheep play was abusing them.
The crazy part is he's such a good player too. Like,
He's
I just
our
don't
best player.
understand it.
He's our best
best
player.
player.
He's
I
our
still
best player. I mean,
understand it.
he's not just he's our best player. Like we can't win that game with him on the bench. Can't. He has on the bench for a lot of the first half because he had 2 fouls. Then they put him in. He gets 2 fouls right away, and then we're getting beat, and we're getting the lead starting to get away from us. And Coach Wade goes, "Hey, you know what? Hey, we need you. Go back in." 15 seconds after he gets in the game, foul, out the game.
Can't happen.
That cannot happen. Like,
Especially he's a senior. Like
hey,
he's got to.
No, he's not a senior.
Sophomore.
Redshirt sophomore, I think.
Who?
Yeah.
Tari?
Tari.
Yeah.
Oh.
Transfer.
Yeah.
I thought he was a transfer senior. Somebody said.
sophomore.
Oh, wow.
Sophomore.
I've been watching every game this year, and I did not know that. I'm thinking he's a
Hey,
senior.
look,
plays like
that's
a
what we're
senior.
here for.
Well, he
Wow,
is
that's
leaving.
great news.
He's leaving.
That's what we're here. We're educating. We're educating everybody.
Basically a senior.
Yeah.
We're
Never, but at
educating-
least there's an outside shot, maybe that he comes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But that's
I
been
would
the
hope so.
problem
he
all season. You play great defense, but you foul. I mean,
Yeah, you do
gotta
foul.
keep your
And
guys
it's,
on the
and
court.
look, I understand that some of the fouls are you can complain all you want, but there's a lot.
season.
There was a lot of fouls that game that are ticky tack, and there's a lot of fouls that game that were bad fouls. These are fouls. Like, hey, you just missed a layup. Why are you trying to get the ball over? Why are you reaching over the guy's shoulder to get the ball? Don't be
In
mad.
foul trouble.
Just go to the other
Right,
side. You
yeah.
messed up.
Yeah.
You missed.
Yeah, you already got.
Don't be frustrated to get a foul. You can't do that.
He's good for one foul, 84 feet away from the basket every single time.
Yes. That can't happen.
It happens once a game.
That cannot
It really
happen.
does.
I don't understand. And Pinson was balling.
Oh my
26.
God!
Yeah.
And he missed a couple like open layups in the beginning
he
too.
missed the bunny at the end of the game too. That
Yeah.
kind of like maybe could have.
They would have had 30
like,
probably.
Was that?
He probably would've had-
If he
He
makes that
should've had
layup
30.
at the end of the game, we're down 2 points.
Oh yeah.
Down 2 points. I'm not saying we win, but like, yeah, he missed a couple bunnies. He made every free throw. I don't think he maybe missed one free throw. He played great. He's been playing great.
Yeah.
Which he's key, but you can't. Your best player cannot foul out in that moment of the game. And on the road at Rupp Arena, like that, you have to be full strength there. And
I just love to see him get a nice little streak going of playing like defense with that kind of intensity, but like just staying out of the bonus and double bonus.
Well, yeah,
Like
or-
if we
or-
could do that, oh my God.
or
It's one of
just
the most
make-
frustrating things watching a game too, and it's just always bonus. Any foul, you're just like, oh my
track's
God, it
going
ruins the flow
forever.
of the game.
Or-
killing it, bro.
Especially when you have the over, you know, like.
Or just let's
3 points with the clock stop.
Did the over hit?
No, I didn't take it on that one,
Okay.
honestly. But
I was telling him I bet the LSU.
I didn't take it.
I had it in
I
the bet
bet-
slip. I just couldn't put it. I couldn't put it.
I bet LSU
couldn't pair it
plus
with the
7.5.
parlay.
What?
I bet LSU plus
What?
7.5, and I thought it was over. 15 points. I was like, no way. Followed it, kept watching it, and they made that run at the end, the last minute run. I'm like,
Yep.
oh my God, they just backdoored this thing for me.
Crazy.
They just got me this.
Well, I was live betting, and I took a spread at 4.5 with
Lloyd
Kentucky.
was live betting too. Ask him about that.
I took
At
a
the
4.5,
second
and then
half.
he did that dunk at the end, and I was like, are they gonna count it? And they were like, they waved it off. I was like, yes. I got out. The game's over already, but this is I got
Winner.
$50 in my pocket.
He didn't tell you he was in bed and literally stood up.
And I was like,
yelling.
come on, no, that's not good.
Review it. Review it.
Allie's sleeping next to me.
Review
I can't yell. I gotta yell under my breath. Like I want to yell, but I can't yell because my wife's sleeping. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need this thing to hit. I need it to hit hard.
I had a nice parlay or a teaser hit yesterday. That was good.
Oh, see,
Hey,
I'm a big
welcome to the
teaser.
club.
That's his move.
Welcome
He's a
to the
big teaser.
club.
I'm a big teaser guy. I love the
go.
teasers.
I did.
Yeah.
I teased some points today. I did.
Did
Did you?
See?
All right.
Everybody's
I'm doing it
aboard.
tonight. I gotta do it quick.
What do you got? What do you bet?
You gotta take
I
your
don't know.
dude.
I didn't take any
I hadn't
bets
even
yet.
looked at it
I have.
I
we
gotta
had-
take
Today
my-
I've been
Hey,
going.
our guy,
Who?
the guy that sends our pack. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
tell you who. It's our guy.
Okay,
It's a
okay,
secret, okay? It's a
Yep.
secret.
Everybody's got a guy.
He's 8-2 over the last 2 days. He's been solid. He got me back out of the grave. I had zero money. At $0.
That's not a good
I
thing.
had $0 left in my account. I put
Zero
all
monies.
my money on the table. 8-2 got me right back in there. I'm back to the even, baby.
Look at this guy. That's
Back
what's on
to-
the YouTube.
Look at him. Boom. There he is. And the St. John pick, he sends me a St. He goes, St. John's play of the day. That was the only bet he lost that whole day.
Wow.
Providence, Michigan, Houston, LSU, Minnesota, and St. John's. And he lost to St. John's.
Speaking of a couple of those games, did you guys DraftKings on Instagram is probably the worst follow ever because they'll show like the 15, 20 leg parlays that hit. And that never hits, right? But you're just sitting there, you're like, ooh, oh, okay, I can see that. And like you're like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll go fill out a parlay tonight.
There you go.
I'm like,
But it
I'm like,
gets you
then they
good.
got me. I'm like, no.
Maybe I'll hit this 23-leg parlay.
It's the best. It's the best worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Instagram because it makes you do it. It makes
Well,
you
they
do
Yeah,
it.
you can, I can do it. Yeah, it'll happen for me.
They put in like $1.50 to win 10 grand. You're
Yeah.
like,
Hey, the one thing I do
like,
need to get rid of with
doing one.
every gambling site I have, I need to get these push notifications off of here because they
Oh my
send,
God.
they send you the rat stuff all day.
And they know you because when I started changing to teasers and parlays, now I'm getting all those things. I used to be like same game parlays.
No,
I'm like, if y'all don't get this
yeah.
off my screen, I'm trying to not have so
know.
much screen time
Y'all
on this app.
take the
You always
cheese.
get at the end of the night.
Everybody
when you're
takes
throwing
the
down your
cheese.
phone.
Every time. Every time.
All right, let's
Can't
do
take
it.
the cheese. You
Last
cannot take
night-
the cheese, bro.
Ranaudo,
Last night
they
I
know
took a
you're-
nice parlay.
What? Go ahead.
Last night I won on I took the Suns to cover, Celtics to cover,
Attaboy.
Timberwolves to cover,
There
and the
you go. That's
Bulls.
all you.
And that- that one,
NBA.
that
This
was
is
good.
this is perfect
Suns
segue.
are great. Suns are great to bet.
Wait,
This is
time
perfect
out. What they look
segue
like without
into
Chris
my-
Paul? That's the only reason why I stayed away from him last night. What they look like without Chris
No,
Paul?
Chris Paul's not playing it. That's
Oh, I didn't
perfect
even
segue
watch.
into my
I know.
picks. I'm going.
Fine.
I got
They won
Pelicans.
by like 16.
Yeah, they won. They
Booker
won by
really?
yeah, they won by.
Yeah,
like
this is
1.
why. This is why my picks come into play today because the Suns are hot. Chris Paul's not playing today. I'm taking the Pelicans +8. This is where I tease it. It was the 8 is the line I wanted, and I waited too long to do it, and the line went down to like 7. So I bought the point. I got Pelicans +8. They're playing in Phoenix against the Suns. Right?
That's dangerous. I don't like
Chris Paul. I know you don't, but I do. Just watch. I do.
Suns 6.5 on mine. I like that one
know.
a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot better. I'm taking that one.
I told you I teased it.
Yeah.
I got Brandon Ingram over 20.5 points.
He hurt me last week, so
No,
I'm a
you're
little salty.
bitter. Hey,
I'm a little
spite.
salty on the points,
This is
but
the spite. The
I'm a huge Brandon Ingram
Oh,
fan.
Lance
Yeah.
Fields, spite bet of the
Spite
week.
bet of the week is he's gonna
What?
go against them. I have a spite bet every time because their team Baylor's been fucking me all year, and so I will not bet Baylor, and I spite bet Baylor and North Carolina. I had a 16 parlay, a 6-team. I had all 6, and it was like money lines. Right now, it wasn't even. I wasn't betting upsets. I was betting basically the sure things, and North Carolina was the most sure thing of the 6, and they lost at home to Pittsburgh. And they ruined my 16 parlay. So that's I don't bet Northern or Baylor. Fuck
Oh
the
my
both
God.
of them.
Baylor almost fucked me one time too. I was like just
3
trying
times.
to.
3 times. They've got
Would you almost
Will you
commit
pick
there?
a Baylor to get upset first round in the tournament?
What?
Doesn't matter the
back
seed.
with the
Brackets
news.
come out. Will
It
you pick
depends. It depends.
He goes, if they're a 5 seed, yeah.
the trend?
Hey,
been on
15
that
2,
5-12 hard.
15-2, man. It's been happening
I
lately.
don't like the Knicks getting
I got Clippers
6 points at
+2.
home.
I like the Clippers +2. by
Yeah.
the way.
He always covered.
I know.
I hadn't even looked at it yet
Knicks
today.
Home
The
Friday
Lakers.
night. The Knicks do suck.
It's in the garden.
They're not.
I might,
yeah,
I might,
in the
I might throw
Garden,
some
yeah.
props in tonight. I don't.
Yeah.
Everybody tease. Everybody
I'm a little
tease.
too late.
Everybody
I'm a little too late.
Everybody
Let's go
gonna
for it.
tease.
I'm a little too late to be
What do you
touching
got
that
on
opening
Lakers?
line right now.
Lakers Clippers. What do you got on that?
I'm a little too late to be touching that opening line right now.
Yeah, you just gotta wait. You just gotta play. Here's my question. So it's post All-Star break in the NBA. This gives us perfect segue to the NBA talk. You love the NBA. You love the NBA. I enjoy the NBA. You enjoy the NBA. But y'all are probably a little bit more educated in the NBA field than I am, right? So give me the cliff notes. I mean, I obviously know Suns best record in the league.
Yes.
Right? Who's the hottest team in the league right now?
I'd say the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics. That's your team. You're a little biased.
Well, no, they were awful.
No, they're playing well. They're playing
They were
well
probably
right
the most disappointing team this season, and then they made a trade.
Cleveland surprising.
Cleveland is surprising, but Celtics before the All-Star break won.
The Bulls are very
10 out of
surprising.
11.
The Bulls are very surprising.
Bulls are.
Cavs.
Yeah, Bulls and
Oh,
Cavs.
the Bulls, especially for like the last month. I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Bulls are really
Do
hot.
Do y'all
Oh, right with
do you think that
I think the
Ben-
Bucks are still going to be. The
I
are gonna
agree,
win the
but do you
East,
think
yeah.
Ben Simmons is gonna make a big difference in
I
Brooklyn?
do. I think that.
Yeah,
I
I
think
do.
that
I
they
think it's-
won that trade big time.
Oh, I think they won. I think it was a. If you look at it on paper, obviously I think Brooklyn won it because of the picks, and they get Ben Simmons and he fits very well there. That's probably the best team he could have gone to. I also think it's a win for the 76ers because they do get hard, but they also get Ben Simmons out of there, right? Like
Yeah.
you're having a guy on your team that's not gonna play. I know you gave up stuff to give him away, but at least you have an asset to put on a really good asset to put on the court to win, right? Like with Embiid and Harden, like that's a good 1-2 combo.
They have Tobias
The
Harris.
the pick and roll game there is gonna be.
I
pretty
think
fire.
at this point, especially in Harden's career, I think just because he's gotten to the point where he's like so much power with everything he does, I think you really undersell him when he's not really motivated, when he's not like bought in, because I think you just don't care when he's not bought in.
Well,
I think you get a completely different him when he's bought in.
He was pretty bought in Brooklyn. It was
For a
just
little
like,
bit.
Except
For a little
that's what I'm
bit.
saying.
I
But
don't
like
blame
this year, when Kyrie ain't showing up every day, they're hurt, so he ain't really feeling like they playing at top tier. Like I just think he was just like, bro, I'm out, bro.
What an unbelievable spot for him to be in. Like, how
Also-
lucky how do you get to be that guy? Where you're just like, I don't feel like playing.
Like, imagine
isn't going well for me.
That's just
Imagine
James
Harden
Harden
playing
gets
with a
to
big
do that.
I feel like that's
And then
also
Durant's out, and then you
Everybody,
come
I wanna
home
play
for a
that.
home
I'm not
stretch,
gonna play.
and the
I
other
wanna
guys
get
just at
traded.
the
I'm not
crib,
happy. I wanna
healthy
get
as hell,
somewhere
but
else.
can't play. I'm like,
I'm
bro,
gonna
I'd be like, bro,
complain.
this is stupid.
I'm
Bro,
gonna
I didn't come here
complain
for
and
this.
cry and bitch and do everything I can do so I don't, because I don't want to. I'm not happy, and so I'm gonna get moved.
Yeah,
That's everything.
I just wish I could get to a point in my career where I
How
could
can you do that?
where I could put on a fat suit and say I'm overweight, man. I can't play.
You and Zion. You and
Zion didn't have to
and-
wear
overweight,
that
man. I
suit.
can't play
He just
trade.
did it, Zion did it all
Zion's
naturality.
a real, that's a real thing.
Yeah, Zion's real
Yeah,
fat.
Zion did it the real
He's
way.
huge.
Yeah, he's
CJ
like,
McCollum
nice
said,
and
leave the
chunky
young
right
fella
now.
alone. Man.
And this we talked about this earlier. How do you not communicate with CJ McCollum?
He
I just
did.
don't
He
understand.
communicated.
finally
They're doing a good
Now-
thing. CJ said, leave the man alone.
Yeah, now.
He's getting himself right. He's getting ready to play this season.
No, that's not an excuse. That's not.
What about the Mavs getting 6
That's
at
that's
Utah?
a good. That's CJ McCollum being a good teammate.
CJ was
Towson's
covering
never
for him,
healthy.
but
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think Mavs getting 6 is like, I would cover that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
I
take
think
the
they would
Mavs.
cover it. Yeah, and
I
I'm
don't
going to
get
tease
the
it so I
Mavs.
actually get 10.
But
See, people don't understand the tease.
Oh, bro.
You know, if you don't
My
understand
new
the
line is
points of the
Mavs
game,
plus
baby,
10.
yes.
I'll take that.
Give me,
I
your
love
NBA,
that.
give me your NBA Finals matchup.
I'm Bucks Suns. I think
Ooh,
it's
I
Bucks
love
Suns.
that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'd probably go Bucks Suns, and I know Chris Paul's hurt.
You can't copy.
No, but I mean, I know Chris
jumped
Paul's
in there
hurt,
first.
but that happened in the playoffs, and they won games in the playoffs with Chris
Okay,
Paul.
those are your picks. Who do you? Okay, now let's say who do you think? Give me someone that can sneak in there.
The Heat.
Oh, you like the Heat? Sneak
do
in
the
there.
Heat.
Backdoor
Yeah,
sneak
nothing
in. Somehow get to the finals.
One of the best coaches, Spoelstra, Bam, Jimmy.
Remember when they
Hero
thought that?
off the
Remember when,
bench.
remember when they thought Spoelstra wasn't a good coach?
I know.
And they
Oh my
thought
God.
that.
Remember
He's
LeBron
one of the best
bumped
ever.
him?
I know. And they're like, oh, Spoelstra's not good. Like the only reason he's good is because he's a puppet. No, he's pretty fucking good.
No, he's
Yeah,
pretty
really good. Like, really good.
Yeah.
He wasn't just mopping floors, and he was
Yeah.
mopping them. His
Right.
man was
They showed his
throwing up
numbers or
plays in his
something?
own
Yeah.
room.
The Warriors could sneak back in.
Oh, I
I hate to say sneak.
Actually,
Look, there it is.
Which conference is there more likely to be an upset in?
The East.
yeah,
I think so, too.
I
I
think so
think the
too.
East.
I think
I
Warriors or
feel
Suns.
like it's always the East. I feel like East is always the conference that always has like the biggest potential upset.
But then the Grizzlies. I mean, the
What do you think on
Grizzlies
that?
could do something.
What do you think on that teaser?
Oh, yeah, get to the tease
On
game.
the teaser. Sorry, I want to get the bet in, so then we're done. Then we can talk about
That's fine.
it.
That's fine. That's
Then we
good.
can
Get
talk
you
about
What's
you're
out there?
locked
I
in.
need
You're
it out there.
focused. You're
I
focused.
like these numbers I'm seeing.
Thunder getting points.
The Thunder, really? Okay.
Pacers suck.
I've had good luck with the Pacers in the betting world.
I
They've
don't
covered.
know. Look,
It's
I'm
really
not-
over under though. Is
I was
what I
gonna
bet.
say, y'all are the NBA guys. I'm not so much the NBA expert. I know enough about it to where I can just. I'm better at live betting because I like to see my.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
I'd like to get my
Yeah.
eyes on
You
it.
know what I
I
mean?
like
Like,
that, yeah.
I'll watch it and bet. I'm not gonna do all my research before the game and bet. Like if I do anything, it's gonna be off of pure emotion. And honestly, I'm maybe 2
Not
years.
you.
Yeah, I'm not emotional at all. I'm very calculated in my bets. Not emotional. That's not true.
That's what the God's
Very-
for.
Cool.
Let
Very
him do the
emotional.
calculations. Let him run the numbers. Mikey puts in a couple emotional. Oh, he's going against
Hey.
LSU. LSU plus 7. Oh, we're taking them.
7.5. What happened? I hit it.
To
Didn't
the
I?
hook. Cut the.
hit
You
it.
called it too.
I hit it.
Yes.
I hit it.
How he did that too. Let's just be honest.
That's exactly
No,
how
dude, he was
when he
sitting
was
it, we
reading
were-
the
we were
text.
doing
That's
like,
exactly
yeah.
how it went.
We were in the pregame, like you're trying to get ready for the show. Mikey's like, LSU plus 7.5. I'm not sniffing that. Looks around, he goes, LSU? I don't know. Xavier Pinches are playing. Fuck it, I'm doing it.
That's exactly how it went down. And I hit it. Okay? Speaking of numbers and speaking of calculations, ESPN is throwing the bag at Troy Aikman. Like, hey, Tony Romo's making 17 mil. We think you're the best, so we're giving you $17.5 million to go to Monday Night Football. They needed to do that. They needed to get a Monday Night Football. They needed to.
Yeah, Monday Night Football
They need
has
to fix
stunk
Monday Night
for the
Football.
last 3 or
Suck.
4 years. It's been
Stunk.
terrible.
And since John,
It's
I mean,
awful.
like I don't want. I'm not talking about John Gruden, but when John Gruden and them were on Monday Night Football, it was better.
Wait, why
right?
he's not on Monday Night Football anymore?
I know he's not.
you don't know why he's not
he's
on
not.
it?
Lloyd.
He's also not in the NFL anymore.
Stay away.
He's been grinding too much. Gruden's
Yeah,
been grinding.
John Gruden's not
A
doing.
little too much grinding.
John Gruden's not doing a lot of things.
A little too much grind.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot of things right now.
He got outside of the segment.
But
box.
when he did leave, Monday Night
box.
Football, it stunk. It was not good, right? So Troy Aikman, I don't know who they're gonna get to pair with him.
The
but
Rock.
He is seven.
Oh my, Snoop.
I mean, the Rock
Let's get
owns the XFL now, so the Rock is
Al Michaels has a year left on his deal.
right.
I think they'll
but
try to
but
get
next
him
year,
next
he's not gonna be able to go next year. Now, Al Michaels,
I'd like that.
Al Michaels
I
and
could deal
Troy
with
Aikman
that.
would be solid.
What does he do now?
Would that be Amazon?
Al Michaels
Al Michaels
is
is
NBC,
right?
Yeah, NBC.
Al Michaels
Wait,
is
who's
NBC.
he announced with right now?
Oh, here we go. Sean Payton.
Nah.
Sean Payton's going to be on TV somewhere. They're talking about him replacing Troy Aikman. He's going to jump all of the other guys
What?
Yeah.
Can you
and
imagine?
take Troy Aikman's spot. The first year he's never done TV.
Oof.
Aikman's
Greg-
been there since 01.
That's a tough
Yeah,
pill.
Aikman's been
Really?
there. But you had Greg Olson. Greg Olson was good.
Yeah.
Greg Olson had a good. Greg Olson was solid every year. Every week he got better. And I felt like he was getting out. Drew Brees was disappointing.
Wasn't as good as I thought.
Yeah, his hair looked good though.
Sean McVay's getting.
Oh,
He
who
got some
did
new
that?
hair. That looked nice.
He was better than the
He has
hats
new
that he
hair?
usually
Oh,
wears.
he had new hair. He had.
Yeah.
Hey,
I do.
he was
Yeah.
better than the hats that he usually wears, though. But he was
Oh,
still
he
disappointing.
was a Kango guy. That was a rough patch.
I wish we could put a nice montage of Drew's
Drew just-
hats over his
Bad-
Oh my
Bad
god!
sideline hats.
Oh my god!
Great
that's
quarterback,
incredible.
bad
It's like-
sideline hats.
Well, not even hats. He just got bad style overall. Like he takes some chances with the long hair when he was balding, and then he went with the hats.
Well, I
and
can't
then
say.
he
Yeah,
just-
he's had some
He got the
questions.
birthmark removed,
I
and he
can't
left a
say
little bit of
anything
it.
Listen,
about that,
there's
There's not
I
much you
had
can do
long
about the hair, but I'm just saying the
What do you
hats
mean?
have been
He
a
did it.
choice.
He fixed it.
But the hats
Yeah.
have been a choice,
Yes, that's
and
Britney.
those have been tough.
I had long hair in college, and I
Yeah, we-
probably didn't have the greatest hairline for a minute, and I let it rise. So I can't say anything.
Hey, if you're
I
hot, you're
fixed
hot.
it. I fixed it.
Yeah.
I fixed it. I had bad hair. I had bad style.
Hey, somebody
Oh,
brought. Hey, somebody brought the.
I know, I saw.
You saw it?
me and you.
Oh my god.
We had very bad
It's
hair.
so bad.
That reminds me, Mikey. Remember that LSU hat you used to always wear? That bitch
Yeah.
was navy blue.
It wasn't. It turned. It was navy blue.
I don't know why.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was a gray. Then it somehow ended up turning into a blue, which I don't know how that happened. But it was.
That's
rough.
dude. That's you were grinding on it, dude. That's just
Hey,
sweat.
it was- hey,
That's
I
a lot of
was-
sweat.
No. This was not a field hat. This was the everyday.
I know that's him at the
Yeah.
That's him at Bogies. That's him at Fred's.
That's exactly how
If you saw me here in Fred's, I was wearing the LSU gray hat
Backwards?
that wasn't gray anymore.
But
But
very
hey,
big sweat guy.
we had some good times.
You go backwards.
It was like a trademark.
Actually, it was a forward hat. It was
With the-
it
with
was
little
like the-
bill
it was the
bend?
bit
Forward
bill,
dad
forward-
hat. It was
my
it was
God.
trademarked. It was.
Oh, it was tough. We had a lot of good times in that hat, though.
We all had
Was
our
it?
things.
Wait,
Yeah, we all, hey, look, I did not know how to dress until probably 4 years out of college. Like I was not very fashionable. And it's okay.
No drip.
It's okay.
No
You
drip.
get-
like that.
I powered through it. I live and I learn.
I struggled too.
and
Just be confident in whatever you're wearing. You know.
That's it.
Yeah, but look at me.
That's your brand. That's on brand.
Yes,
for you.
exactly.
Look at me.
That's
Know
on,
who you are.
Look at me.
That's on brand. That's on brand for you. We digress. We digress. Back to NFL talk.
They're trying to trade Drew Brees. I don't know what that means, but they're trying
Who's
to
trying to trade Drew Brees?
NBC. The
NBC. Yes.
Stop.
Fox.
They
Swear.
trade commentators.
Yes.
Is that-
What a world!
What? This is great.
What a
Man, he
world!
retires. He thinks he's out of it.
We're gonna
and
have
he's like,
Adam.
nah.
We're gonna have the Adam Schefters for the TV world.
We don't want you
Breaking
here either.
news.
So who would Fox trade? Olsen for Drew Brees?
Yeah, do you mix in prospects?
I mean, but
Wait,
Future
So are we
players?
talking
Is this-
future
so wait,
picks?
are we
Yeah,
talking
like
Cash
like 5 years?
consideration?
Are we talking like 5 years from now, like on NFL Live, they start talking about the,
I mean, duh.
the
rumors.
Schefter is getting text messages about that, no doubt.
We got Schefter and them
but,
talking about.
but here's the deal: is Fox trying to trade for Drew, or is NBC trying to trade Drew away?
Right, that's the question.
No, I think
Always.
That's a big question.
That's
I
a big
think Fox is
psychological
trying to
question.
get him.
So Fox wants Drew, or
That's,
does
that's a
NBC not
PR
want
story.
Drew?
That's a PR story. Drew's PR team got ahead of it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't
No,
know.
but
I'm
you're
literally
right.
just stirring the pot.
That's how you do it.
Yeah,
That's a good PR
that is.
team.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
would
good-
be the way.
That would be the right
They'll
way
thank
to
you.
do it.
Yeah.
Is
They thank you for it.
is to say, hey, you know what? He is wanted by someone else, not because someone doesn't want him. But I don't know. The media world right now in sports is, or especially football, is wild. Like the money that is being thrown out and the people that are going into it. You see what Pat McAfee's doing off out of football. You see what Troy Aikman's doing. You see what Greg Olson's doing. You see what Sean Payton's getting all this money to go.
McVay.
Tony Romo's getting. McVay was flirting. That was nothing.
McVay's still flirting. 15 million.
Bro, McVay.
flirting too.
I'll tell you this: McVay ain't going anywhere.
Is it a big investment into commentators to try to get people to watch the games more? Like, what's
I
the?
think it
Is
is.
that what it is to
I
try to
think-
change
Tony
the
Romo
way?
effect.
Is
I
it?
think,
Yeah.
I think.
The Peyton, the Manning thing too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like, get
Peyton and
people's-
Eli, shout out.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's what made
Eli.
ESPN like changed the way that they wanted to do this because they
Right.
saw ESPN2 getting bigger numbers in there. They put
Right.
so much money into Monday Night Football,
Right.
and you have two brothers that throw together a stream
Yeah.
that do numbies and like,
Right.
what are we doing paying these people all this much money? We got to go get a guy.
I wish
Right.
they would. I wish they would put Peyton. I think Peyton would be awesome.
Well, he don't want to. He wants to do it from his
I know,
couch.
I mean, he doesn't
yeah, I mean,
have
I'm
to,
not
but
going
he wants to
either.
have fun.
He doesn't need money.
He doesn't need to go and do it because what he's doing right now, he has free reign to do whatever he wants and go wherever he wants and say whatever he wants and kind of like develop
He calls the
and do
shots.
stuff.
He gets to be the quarterback.
Right, but he would be unbelievable in the booth. I think.
Yeah,
I think Drew. I
Peyton would
think
be
Drew
great.
eventually would be good. I don't think he's good now by any means. I think that.
Reps. It'll be reps.
Was that?
It's just gonna come with reps.
No doubt. It's reps. Look, I mean, look, there's things I'm not very good at. I've gotten better at things because it's different when you're leading the show or you're different when you have to do. I think what Drew does when he needs to do, or I would like to see him do more, and I think that's what they are hoping that he would do is because he's such a smart quarterback and so analytically minded on the field that he'd be able to understand and explain in layman's terms what is going on, how they
Like
get to
live
it.
time though.
Yeah,
while
like
it's-
how they get to it. Kind of like what Tony Romo does is like calling plays before
Right.
they
Yeah.
happen.
That-
You know what I
that's
mean?
what
Like,
people want. They want that little insight.
Everyone
little-
loves that.
now,
exactly,
I think Sean Payton's going to be a slam dunk, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think so too.
His
don't know his
personality, like the way he
I've always heard his person. I've never met it, but I always heard the personality. Is like
the way he
out
talks
of
on
the-
Twitter and the way
yeah,
his
yeah.
players talk to him and how he interacts with his players and like how I went to a walkthrough in New Orleans one time, and this was like the Saturday walkthrough or Friday walkthrough before the Sunday game, and I'm sitting there and Sean Payton is talking to Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Taysom Hill, and it wasn't Drew, but it was someone else, and he was explaining. If you see a certain coverage and you have this slot nickel guy at a certain alignment, this is what you do. And he was explaining the other way. And they were both talking. And they were talking in like straight football lingo, like talking about the play, talking about formations, talking about motions. And I'm like, damn, this is awesome. Yeah. Like just the way that it's literally how we're talking right now, just about normal conversation, is how they were talking about what they wanted to do and what they were seeing and how they adjust to it. And I'm like, the fact that he can talk like that and make it sound interesting and make it relatable, he wasn't even trying to make it relatable to me, he was talking to them, but I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is very easy to understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
That is what I think they were trying to get Drew Brees to do, and he may eventually get there, but I think Sean Payton in the booth is going to be awesome. I think that's why he's being offered all this money to go up into the booth. I don't know if
It makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the booth for a year or two and then probably going to go coach the Cowboys and break my heart, but that's kind of what's going to happen. But the media world is crazy in the football and NFL, really. Honestly, everywhere. NBA's they're getting a ton of money in the NBA. I'm sure Shaq and Chuck and Kenny and Ernie, all those guys on NBA TV are killing it. Like,
It's off the top of that show though.
that's the best. That's
Shaq's
the best
got his
show.
own show
That's the
coming
best
out
show in
too.
sports.
I don't know if you saw
That's the
that,
best
right?
late night.
Documentary?
Yeah,
Hey, that's the best late night TV there is in the fall. Right after
No doubt.
football's over.
No doubt. They
Hey.
let them do everything.
Oh
They
my
let them do
God.
what they want to do, how they want to do it, and they don't really give them any rules.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
after the West Coast game when they've been drinking a little bit
Yeah.
too, like that's the best time.
Right.
Yeah,
You
get 'em
see-
loose.
I mean, can you imagine just hanging out for 6 hours, 7 hours watching basketball in the back room, talking to each other, hanging out, and
right.
like, dude, that's fun.
Yeah.
Especially with that group of guys.
That's what I mean. They're probably just chopping it up the whole time, drinking, laughing, just making jokes, telling
Unbelievable.
stories and stuff.
Yeah,
gotta
you
sign
see
Draymond.
Charles going underneath the desk a
Just
lot. Charles is
Draymond.
bending down a lot for that
Draymond,
cup.
yeah.
Yeah,
His
Charles,
podcast kills
back
it, huh?
on.
Really?
Yeah, you
y'all
got a
see
podcast, yeah.
Draymond?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Draymond?
Oh,
Draymond
yeah, it's
Green?
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only
Pretty
seen
solid.
clips. ESPN puts it out a lot, so I'd imagine
Yeah.
it's got to be somewhat good.
I'm assuming Draymond's going to be on there when he's done.
Yeah,
that's what we were
Be
just
a
talking
TV
about.
guy.
Yeah. Did
Might
y'all
be better
talk?
he might be better at that than basketball at this point. He
Really?
might
He's
be
good.
hanging up.
He's
Hey, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
Oh, Bean.
That's
what does that
unbelievable.
mean?
He's
Thinking
good
that
at
too. I'm like,
he's
this
good at
is just
Steph Curry
popularity.
and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, he's good with Steph Curry and
at
Claire out there. Me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's
yeah.
a
Steph Curry,
question.
Klay
So you
My assist
are-
numbers get really good.
Yeah.
Triple single.
You are very health conscious, right? You're
Me?
very You're very
Except when I'm eating
holistic.
canes
Yeah, just
before
saw
the
him
show.
smash a Caniac, dude, in
You're
like
very
20
holistic
seconds.
about some of the stuff that you do, right?
I try.
Have you ever heard of Pacha Karma?
Pacha Karma? No. What is
Okay.
that?
So Aaron Rodgers, and now this has been talked about. We're probably a day out of the news cycle, but I want to bring it up to you because you probably haven't heard about it. So Aaron Rodgers is very holistic in a lot of things that he did. He had a 500-page report on his research on why he decided to be unvaccinated, immunized, and like what he did. Like it was crazy, right?
He wrote the 500-page report.
He did his own research.
Ghost Rider. Hey, let me lay it out on this couch. Let me tell you my thoughts.
A lot of citing.
I don't know, but
Yeah, he cited Joe Rogan a lot.
but he goes
They did
on
some
the
mushrooms
show,
together.
But he goes on media and he brings out this paper and he starts rolling down all this research, right? So then, he's obviously very in tune with like the mind and the body and making sure that he is in zen, right? Like he is in a good spot.
Yeah.
So he comes on and says a couple of days ago and says that he just gets back from a 12-day Pachakarma
12-day.
cleanse, right?
Very specific.
So
Not
basically
13.
what
He
this
ran
is,
out.
and we've done a little bit of research on it and we've read it, it's basically like there's 5 sections of this Pachakarma. And so honestly, basically what it is just you're shitting and throwing up for 12 days.
Is it like
And you're
ayahuasca?
cleansing.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
like ayahuasca?
I've never heard of that. I don't know.
It's probably like a.
Now we're thinking.
Well, how do you-
It's the third
If
eye,
it's
dude.
like an ayahuasca, then I understand exactly what it is.
Bro,
It's like a
that's
purge.
two
You kind of
brand
purge
new
Yeah,
words.
so he's
everything out.
cleansing.
Yeah.
It's like
How
a
you do
12-day
that?
cleanse. I don't know, but I can't. I'm not doing
You
that. I
tell
don't
me.
wanna do that.
Sounds awful.
Oh, it's literally one of the number one things on my bucket list. Let's have
know,
this.
that's why I
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's do
I asked you.
it.
That's why I asked you.
Content.
That's
Yeah.
why I asked you. Like, I'm sure it's great for you. I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm sure it does a lot of good things to cleanse the body.
Aaron Rodgers
So
looks great.
I'm a
ayahuasca
very
is
anti-throw
different,
upper. I'm a very bad thrower
though. Me too.
upper.
Me
Oh, I
too.
can throw up right now.
If I throw up, the entire neighborhood's gonna hear me throw up.
Lloyd,
okay?
we know.
I'm not good at that. So I don't know if I want to say. I know it's gonna make me feel better, but I don't like to throw up. Like I avoid it at all costs. I
Yeah.
pop blood vessels in my eyeballs, like the whole deal. Like it's not
Well,
good.
apparently this stuff is like real like purging too. Like you like I don't know. It's like violent throwing up. And
What, ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca, and if this is anything like it, I don't
So
know
what
what this
is
is. I don't
ayahuasca?
know.
Explain it to
Ayahuasca
me.
is more like a mind thing though, like where it's a psychedelic. So you go
Oh, so
through.
you're taking drugs.
It's plant. They call it plant medicine and whatever. But yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Yeah.
psychedelic.
I say
yes.
drugs. I say drugs.
Right,
I don't know.
right.
Something that's enhancing you.
Right. Yes.
Maybe.
100%. And
Of the not natural state.
But ayahuasca basically allows you to go into this different psychedelic state and see things differently from a different perspective, open up different parts of your brain, and it kind of stays with you in your waking life afterwards. But you go through this whole like you purge, you throw up, you're on the ground, you're shitting, like it's all this nasty stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but
They give you a
it's-
bucket and the drug, and they say, figure it out.
Okay, well,
and they give you a doctor
that
and they
just
just
sounds
and he
like
just
an
rubs your
awful
back the whole
They
time.
give you a girlfriend for the day. Like, you're okay.
And just go into another
You
world.
can't be in that for the experience. You got to just literally be in there. Like I'm doing this for the finish line.
how long does that last? How long does
At
that
the
last?
beginning, like doing this is
4 hours, 5
It's
hours.
true.
But
Okay, so but this is a 12-day.
have you seen Billions? Have you watched the show Billions? Right? You watched the beginning of season 5.
Spoiler alert.
So, well, they go on an
Spoiler alert.
ayahuasca retreat and they show the whole thing and what it is and like how it goes and like all this stuff.
Oh wait,
So-
I think I did.
Yeah, they're out in the wilderness and him and
Yeah, you're
what's
right,
his
I did
guy's
see that.
name?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's that. So just so you have a visual
I
of
got
like
it.
what they're going through, it's a ceremony and he's probably if that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know how it relates to sports, honestly.
You know what's you know
Unless
makes-
he's trying to do something for his brain and unlock something. I don't know.
Well, I guess this Pachakarma is a little different. It's probably not. You're probably not doing that same stuff.
Right.
It's a cleanse of the body, I think, more
Gotcha.
than the mind. More of
Gotcha.
the mind, right?
That's what I was like. I don't think it's probably the same thing for
Speaking
if
of
you-
throwing
if the
up,
media is bringing
what
it
makes
up.
me throw up is this MLB stuff.
Oh god.
Dude, they're going on day 5,
This can't be real. I feel like it can't
and
be real.
they're making zero progress. I texted my agent yesterday. I said, hey, what's the deal? Like, we got any updates? Like, what's going on? Like, I know the updates of what I'm reading. And Jeff Passan does an unbelievable job of, like, updating it. He's like, he's the one right. Look at you. Look on top of that.
Jackie boy, we're
So
on top
he's
of it.
one
Had a
of-
good team meeting yesterday.
We did have a great team meeting. We did. Great, love team meetings.
a little pinch of karma for the boys.
But he is an unbelievable. He's unbelievable because he's a writer for ESPN, but he takes a lot of the players' stances, like sides. Like he explains what's going on, and he explains, okay, it's not players versus owners. It's not. It is. I mean, it is players versus owners, but it's not the players that are being greedy, or it's not like it. Because the MLB and owners and the people who run Major League Baseball are going to put out their own narrative, and they're going to try to flip it, obviously make it seem like, oh, well, these millionaires are being greedy. Well, a large majority, the majority of the Major League Baseball are not millionaires. They don't. They're more thousandaires in the big leagues than millionaires, right? That's just the reality of baseball. I won't say all sports, but of baseball. And he came out, and someone came out and made this big ordeal about Max Scherzer showing up to. It's hard for me to even say this because it's so stupid. They made a big deal because Max Scherzer showed up to these meetings in a Porsche. Oh, he's complaining about money because Max Scherzer. And Jeff Passan goes, yeah, but the billionaire showed up in private jets. So what are you mad about?
That's unbelievable.
Like, why are we even – that, to me, just shows where, like, people's mind, like, this is – you don't understand. You're not getting what we're trying to do. You're not getting the change that we're trying to make. And the heels are dug in, boys. Like, this doesn't – we're not budging. Now, obviously, we want a certain amount of money, right? Like, say, oh, we want a $110 million pool for arbitration deals or whatever. Well, that's not the go-home number. That's not the take-home number. Like, you're not going to go into a negotiation and say, this is the number, and if you don't get to that number, we are not going to make it a deal. You go with a high number, it said you go down, you negotiate. There's a number probably lower than that they take home. Nobody knows that number. I don't know that number, other than probably the close-knit group of people in the rooms, right, in the meetings. Like, because if that number if they tell 5, 10, 15 people, it's probably going to get out to the owners somehow. Someone's going to tell somebody they shouldn't have told, and it's going to get to the owners, and that's a bargaining chip. They have the advantage in the room. So I'm not saying that the number that we are putting out there is like the end-all, be-all number, but it's definitely closer. It's definitely not where the owners are at. You know, so I'm sure there's like a midway point that we're going to get to. I just don't know when it's going to happen. It's day 5.
Do you think this is good or bad news? Rob Manfred showed up for the first time in a week. So they've been having these meetings every day, and Rob all strolled in today. I'm sure he flew commercial. You know, I'm sure he slumped it with everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is he there anyway?
He got an Uber.
Really
I think he's the commissioner. I don't know what he does, but he lucked into that job.
And here's
What
the
is
deal.
Somebody that hates
he walked
baseball
in
more
and
than
just went
anybody.
on the owner's side. So like, why is he there?
100%.
So here's the deal. Labor law is his specialty. So that's why Rob
Right.
Manfred.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So that's why.
Oh, Bob Manfred.
That's why he goes in there and he already has the advantage because he got the job as a commissioner because he was an owner that specializes in labor disagreements, right? Like he was in there. So we have all of our team of lawyers, which is great, but Rob Manfred, that's what his specialty is. So this is not like, this is going to be a battle, which it needs to be, but it's very uneasy to me. It's very unnerving because it's my career and it's a lot of people's careers, and it's just unfortunate, but it's very it's exhausting. Like, I mean, can you imagine going into a meeting 5 consecutive every single day, and it's the same stuff over and over, and you're hammering the same points and nothing's getting done, and you're like,
All right,
this
I'm
is
walking out.
exhausting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mentally exhausting.
So the players reps are just going there every day and just
No, both sides.
Both sides.
It's literally
Every day,
like it's literally like walking in and having the same argument with someone,
day.
and y'all don't see eye to eye every day, and you just say, you know what, I'm done with you today. I'm out.
Yeah, but it's the same stuff. So it has got to be mentally like, I mean, it's probably more mentally exhausting than playing games. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough situation. They're gonna get it figured out. I don't know when they're gonna get it figured out, but it has to get figured out.
I heard somewhere, this can't be true, right? Like that if it doesn't get resolved by the 28th or something, that they're
gonna start canceling games.
Yeah.
Start canceling
Yeah,
games.
so that was the MLB's
threat.
threat.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
hey, this is our hard deadline. Like, this was like a sort of a deadline. Now it's the hard deadline. Well, hey, dude, like, and the unofficial president of the players union is Scott Boras, apparently, because the only people you ever hear quotes from is Scott Boras.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Why is he always the one? That,
He basically runs.
See,
He
if
owns
y'all
all the
don't know
players,
this,
like, on the bit-
Imagine how we feel. People that are involved in the sport, and all we see about baseball is bad news. And you're like, people that are in the league are like, we don't know
If
what's
you go
going
look
on
on-
either.
yeah,
It's
if
like,
you
I
go
know who
look
Scott
on-
Boras is, but I don't know what he's doing there.
If you go look on ESPN.com and you go to MLB, the MLB tab, it's nothing positive. It's all negative. It's been negative stories for 2 years. Yeah. MLB has more stains on their reputation over the course of the last 40 years than any sport. 1994 strike. You had the steroid era. Then you had cheating scandals with the Astros. Then you had
COVID.
Then you had the whole COVID disagreement in 2020. Then you had Tyler Skaggs deal. Then you have this stuff. It's like,
John
Fuck.
Gruden.
Angel stuff. Stuff going on.
let's figure out Tyler Skaggs. Let's
Baseball's a
figure some
mess.
shit out.
How,
You know?
how toxic was the COVID lockout when you guys had to figure out a season?
That was a microcosm of what this is.
That was basically the prelude to this.
Do you
'cause
guys
knew this
have,
was
like,
coming.
Is there just like a bitter taste in your mouth where it's like, well, I compromised so much and now you don't want to compromise? Is it kind of like that almost?
Well, here's the deal. We really didn't compromise. We compromised because we thought it was going to bring us goodwill towards this.
Yeah.
It has done nothing.
What was the big compromise that you guys made during that?
Well, there's a lot. So we wanted to get full pay, obviously, for the full season, even
Right.
though you're not playing a full games this season. But it wasn't our. It was just, it wasn't our choice to cancel games. We had to do it, and so we couldn't agree to the amount of money and games played. And we wanted to play as many games. We wanted to play 82, 100. We wanted to play as many games as we could play. Owners didn't want to, so the owners brought the games all the way down, and then Rob Manfred and MLB had the ability to say, hey, we're gonna mandate you have to play, no matter what, you have to play 60 games. Like if we wait till the certain deadline, then I can say, okay, we're gonna have a 60-game season no matter what, right? Which means it's prorated based off those 60 games. And they could never agree to money, and that's eventually what happened. Was he said we're gonna play 60 games. So like there was no goodwill built at all during those meetings. And we knew going into this season, like this off season, like everybody knew that this was going to be kind of a battle. And
I mean, realistically, people don't even know this. Like right now, it's the same thing. They technically don't have to be locked out. Like you can
That's the
still
owner's
be
decision.
You could still be
decision.
negotiating under good faith, but the owner's decision was to lock it out because that's their way of saying, hey, no one is getting paid.
so if there was good faith, and we said, hey, this deal is going to be done, let's keep negotiating. We could be in spring training right now.
Wow. And they literally were like, nah, we're not going to work.
So
We're like, that's how much we want to control
once the deadline
it.
happened on December 2nd, they said, hey, work stoppage lockout. We're not doing this. So we have to come to an agreement before everything starts.
You don't technically have to be locked out right now.
Yeah. So that's why it's called. So technically, it's not a strike until you start missing games. So you don't until you not play games.
Right.
Right now, it's a work stoppage or a lockout, and that's imposed by the owners. So that's kind of where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good.
Toxic.
I mean, it's
Not
good.
fun. We're not having.
And you guys
fun.
literally, well, I guess you're in between teams right now, but like guys that have contracts with teams, they can't associate, they can't go to the facilities.
They can't do rehab. They can't rehab.
I was talking to somebody with Boris yesterday, like on the marketing side, and like they really, like the agents can't even talk to any teams and negotiate and just be
Can't
like,
do anything.
hey,
Can't
like,
do anything.
when
Can't-
things get better,
The
like,
entire
you know,
world is
Scott
like
Boris.
basically
Scott Boris.
Yeah.
I bet he can.
I mean, and look, it affects a lot of people, right? It affects people in my position who are free agents who are trying to make a big league team.
right.
It affects people who have a contract, are in the big leagues
Carrera.
that aren't going to get paid, and it affects the big free agents like Carlos Correa. Here's my thing. Carlos Correa had the best year that he could possibly have going into free agency. It's hard to get to free agency.
Right.
It takes a long
God
time.
Damn,
Yeah.
And he's been hurt for a while. He always gets hurt. He has a bad back.
Yeah.
Last year he played the entire season and he had the best year of his career the year before free agency. This is his big money year.
Yeah.
The big shortstop class, there's going to be high market, all this stuff. He's not going to sign a big deal now. He can't. No way there's going to be enough time to go and say,
iron
hey,
that
we're going to
out,
give
yeah.
you all of the money that you want. So he's going to have to go ahead and sign a one-year deal on a shortened season when you don't have a big spring training and have to go and
Basically saying,
repeat.
do it again. Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
have to go and repeat the
But with
same
harder
season
circumstances, yeah.
that he had last year, even though he's been injury prone in the past. Even he's a very good player, but he's been injury prone. So the likelihood of him doing that.
Like I even think guys like you take someone like I don't know, maybe like a Marcus Semien. He might sign for even more if this wasn't the situation.
No doubt.
Like he signed before. to have
Seager, all of those
to have
guys.
something concrete, but like
Yeah.
if this isn't the situation that was looming,
Right,
he
maybe
might
he
have
waits-
waited it out.
yeah,
Maybe-
exactly.
maybe he signs for even more.
Like all these big time free agents are going to get like there's a lot of different
175 or
Sports.
something. Like,
What is it?
Yeah, like 175.
Marcus Simeon.
But you got to realize, like,
Oh, yeah, he got
over
paid.
you got to realize though,
The
like
middle
over
infielder for the Rangers got
But
paid.
you got to realize
Seager
over the
too, he's
last
a
5
shortstop.
years, he's been like a top 3 MVP guy like 3 times.
Oh wait, he has Simeon.
Simeon
I
had
didn't
40
know that. I
he had
didn't know
40
that. I
he
didn't
had
know
40
that. Okay.
plus last year.
I knew that. I
Sneaky.
knew that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I
Over
thought it
the
was just.
last
I thought he
5
just had like
years,
kind of a
he
break.
Did he
had
win a
he
Gold
had
Glove?
He had a bad. I think I don't know. Maybe I think so. Once
He may
had
have
a
won a
bad
Gold Glove.
COVID year in his 60 games. But like over the last 5 years, I think he's finished top 3 in MVP 3 times.
Holy shit. I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's
Good
good,
for
dude. He
him.
can hit. He can hit. He can hit. He can
Marcus
hit.
is a professional hitter.
I know we can't
Legit
do commercials,
professional hitter.
or we can't do breaks. You don't like me doing breaks.
That's awesome.
We can put a break in.
Can we do a little? We can have to. You know, you can keep us on camera. I just know Jay Mitch has some. He's
gotta say you
we're
gotta
gonna
get
take
to.
a little break.
All right,
Take a little
no
break.
worries,
Get him on
no
stage.
worries.
Move chairs.
Move chairs.
He's
move
got like
seats.
his fiance.
Shuffle.
His new fiance is in there.
fiance's in the-
She's
in the
waiting on
crowd.
him. I'm keeping him. I can't keep her.
Big
She's
crowd,
cold.
big crowd.
She's got beanie and blanket on. This is great.
Beanie blanket combo
Beanie blanket looks good. Can't wait for
You guys
tomorrow.
going to the
Big
baseball
party
game
tomorrow.
tonight. No.
Big party,
You
can't
see that
wait.
weather out there.
I am not going that way.
We
SEC
are.
Plus.
We're gonna take like a
ESPN
minute break.
Plus.
You can do that for me.
Yeah.
Take a minute break. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Little does.
Oh, dose.
Little crooked does.
Love. We're back.
We're back. Am I live?
And you pan out. You pan out. And then you rise up.
Is my mic live?
Of course.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah,
All right,
I said
welcome
we're
back to
back.
Mic'd Up. Well, I didn't know if we were back, okay? Welcome back
Sometimes
to Mic'd
I
Up.
do lie.
Brought to
Just-
you, you do lie. You
Yeah,
do lie a
okay.
lot. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
What a shot. What? You lie a lot.
You do lie.
Well,
You're a big
everybody
fibber.
lies.
You're a big fibber.
Lloyd is a big
Yeah, I'm a
liar.
fibber.
Big
You're a
liar.
fibber. You're not. I don't want to say that you're a fibber. You're a fibber.
he's a
Where's
He's
my
a fibber.
lawyer? Please
He's
don't
a
lie.
fibber. This is Mic'd Up,
Jesus.
brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We did show a little Lance Beal graphic. We were brought to you also by Lance Beal, attorney at law in Lafayette, Louisiana. Lloyd worked real hard on that graphic.
I did.
So I want to give Lloyd a round of applause
Thank you, boys.
on the graphic.
Speaking of lying,
on the graphic.
I need Lance Beal after I was
In the
just
break,
put to task.
we're gonna get into a preview for this weekend. LSU baseball has a tough weekend. 4 games. They have 4 games they have to play this weekend. After they got back in at 2:30 in the morning from a tough game on Wednesday. Well, it's a 4-hour drive to Ruston. So they go to Ruston, 4 hours, come all the way back. After a tough loss, they get back at 2:30, have practice on Thursday. They got to play tonight. They got to play Saturday. They got 2 games on Sunday. And then you got an off day on Monday, right? So we're going to get into that. Before we do get into that, I got a text message from our guy. I knew he was going to come
From our
in.
guy.
Knew he was going to come in
From our
clutch,
guy.
right? He's hot. He is hot. And I don't know who's listening. I don't have my computer open on the chat.
I did a fuss at you for that.
I do actually want to bring this up before I get to the bets. If you are in the chat and you're watching live, throw out some questions, ask me whatever you want. I got people in the chat, reading the chat. I'm too ADD to read the chat as I'm talking because then I'll get stuck in the chat and I'll be a very boring host and I don't want that for y'all. So if you have questions, you want anything to ask me about, make fun of me, do whatever, ask away and we'll get it answered. But more important are the bets because everybody wants to make a little money and our guy is 8-2 in the last 2 days. And
Oh, I
Nothing
want to
better
hear.
than a
I want
hot
to hear.
gambler.
love
Nothing
hot.
better.
Love
I
hot
wanna
gambling.
hear.
We have 4
Everybody
picks
get their
today.
phones out. Look
Hey,
at
that's
you,
what-
dude.
I'm
You're
already got
ready.
it. I got my
ready.
bet slip
He's
up.
ready. He's ready. We got 4 picks out. The first one I will tell you boys is we have the Winnipeg Jets +2.
Let's go.
Okay?
The Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets.
What-
That
what
would be
sport? What
NHL.
sport?
That is the National
what
Hockey
is
League.
that?
What is this?
Right? That is NHL. Winnipeg Jets
You take him
+2.
+2?
+2 is what he has.
Okay.
He gave me Harvard +7.5.
Okay.
Oh.
He gave me St. Louis +3.
Okay.
And St. Louis basketball.
Yeah.
College basketball.
So was the one before that? The one before?
Harvard, yeah, college
Yeah, yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
And then
Really?
he gave me a Heat Suns money line parlay. So he wants a Heat money line, Suns money line, parlay them. That's plus money at +100.
You know
like
you're
that.
hot if the bookie is giving out parlays. But he's like, even I'm feeling myself a little bit.
I
today. They don't
am-
make money.
So how do you do those? Do you take those all individually?
So
When he
so
gives
you
them
take
to you?
the Winnipeg Jets individually, Harvard individually, St. Louis individually, and then you have the Heat, and the parlay was the Heat and Suns.
Right,
now,
right.
Now, if you want, he's giving these to me as individual bets.
Right. I might just parlay them
And I
all.
would say, if
Just
you
do it
feel
like-
very
yeah.
confident in our guy, and you say, I want to take a risk and win some money,
This is going to be a mic'd up special for me.
oh, I love
Is
that.
my mic on?
I think
Yeah.
it's,
Is it?
look, he's the one you can hear. He's
can
on.
hear it?
He's on. You're doing
Okay,
well.
I just wanna make sure.
You're doing good. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
What happened to
I'm going to
him?
do a mic'd up special.
You're gonna take the Suns,
I might take his parlay. So
the Heat, and the Suns. Those are your 2 teams. You love the Heat and you love the Suns.
yeah. That's
Pay for Mardi Gras.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Mardi Gras special.
You're gonna take all of them. All of them. You're gonna parlay the whole. He's parlaying all of them.
And I'm going to add in.
Look at it. He's parlaying.
I'm
He's
gonna
going.
add
He's
in
gonna
the
have a
Mavs,
1,
too.
2, 3, 4. He's gonna have a 5-team parlay.
No, I'm not going to do the Mavs. I'm going to tease them though if I can.
Well, when you put that in there in your ass
see.
and you calculate, I want to see what that money
All
is.
right, I'll see.
That may be the mic'd up special. we might just parlay our guys'
Suns
bets.
and Heat, right? And
Now
then-
we're gonna post our bets. Caveat: he is not telling you to parlay all these
Right.
bets. These bets are coming in as individual bets.
Right,
You
doing
bet them
the
individual.
parlay.
We are being stupid and being very greedy, and we're gonna parlay them. And if we win money, we will laugh in your face and brag about how much money we won.
Shit.
My app only has the Jets plus 1.5 though.
You gotta buy the point. Oh, you can't buy it. You can't buy the point on there, huh?
Yeah, and on a parlay.
Oh, the parlay. Well,
I'll take the 1.5 on a
Okay.
parlay. But
Okay.
They still got to get 2,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
Or no, they can still lose by 2.
yeah. The hook.
All right. So and then
hook's
it
gonna
was,
get you. What
and
the
then
hook
it
gonna
was
be?
basketball, right? What was the other
And
one?
then it was the Harvard plus 7.5.
Yeah.
Playing Yale.
I don't know who they're playing. He just gave me Harvard. I don't know. I haven't looked at that. I don't know. You put me on the
already
spot there.
started. Oh, no.
I don't know.
That's how much
Harvard
you trust
plus
him. I
what?
don't care who they play.
That's it. I don't care.
care.
He tells me I blindly trust him.
My app has +7 only.
For Harvard?
Yeah.
Damn, though, you're
What
getting
is
the
it
half.
at?
The half points.
No,
You're getting
the half points
the
matter.
Hook, the hook is gonna fuck you all the time.
Hey, I'm telling you, it matters. And then what? St. Louis +3.
Yep, that's on
Nice.
there.
All right, I got that.
And then the Heat Suns money line
I got that. So
Got it.
the parlay odds would be 2,600, 2,684 for me.
for the
What'd you put
16
in? How much
parlay.
did you put
For
in?
it would be 5. So I'm not doing the Mavs. I'll do the Heat,
So the all
Sun.
5 that he gave us.
Yeah, the Heat, the Sun, the Jets +5, Harvard
No,
+7,
Jets +5.
the Winnipeg Jets
Plus 2.
plus. Oh, sorry,
1.5.
1.5.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm
I
looking
was
at the
gonna say +5.
I'm looking at the 5.
I would
Sorry.
take that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Harvard +7, and then St. Louis +3.
And that's plus what?
Harvard +7.
No, what's the total though? What's the plus money? Plus 2,600.
26.
I'm betting that.
And I have 2 free bets at $10. That's a perfect.
I'm doing it.
It would
that's
win
the
me
mic'd up.
260.
The mic'd up parlay. All of our guys' bets in the parlay.
Let's go.
Wow.
Make DraftKings Instagram with that parlay.
Wow, that would be unbelievable.
I'm gonna select the bonus. Oh, I got a free bet $50.
There you go.
Oh, $50
There you go.
parlay.
$50 parlay. Let it go. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Let's go. So that payout would be 13 hundo
Ooh, $50
for 50 bucks on a free bet.
Do you get
Duh.
cash or
You
coin?
can
I
cash
just have
out.
to spend. I just have to spend 1,300 in the next 30 days on the app, like betting.
Oh, you can't take it
that's
out.
not-
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no, you
they are-
can, but you just have to for it to. Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, no, I can take it out.
See?
Wow, no, you don't have to spend it.
You don't
There you
have
go.
You could pocket it, or you could keep gambling.
I'll probably
That's
keep
what I've
gambling.
done.
Keep
Let's be real. Let's be real.
doing, yeah.
That money's staying in the account so I can keep betting.
All
I
right,
get
so
it.
your guy feels good about those, huh?
That's our guy. That's what he feels. That was he picked. He's been hot. Look, that's a risky
How
move.
would that ever? Yeah. But it's a free $50 bet.
Hey, whatever.
Oh, I just got a text. Picks coming in from this guy.
Ooh, he got a guy.
Who's also hot.
Everybody's got guys.
Everybody's got a guy.
Everybody's got him.
Everybody's got a
Give me
guy.
another mic'd up guy.
Yeah, I'll
What's
give
your
him. I'll
other
give the guy
guy?
out again.
You take your time, read the picks. We're gonna talk baseball,
Oh, yeah.
study
He
them.
said picks coming in.
Yeah.
So,
Wait
you know,
for the picks.
He got the text, and now I'm about to get the text.
Wait for the picks. People are listening to talk baseball, boys. Okay, let's talk a little baseball. All right. Let's talk a little baseball.
Okay. Okay.
We got Cowboy Blake on the mound today. I think we got a Friday night guy. I really do. I think the way he threw last weekend, I know it's Maine. Maine wasn't very good. But I don't care who it was, who he played against, the way he pitched and how he got ahead and how he threw strikes and how he dominated, how he used all of his pitches to dominate has all the makings of being a Friday night ace. And the big question mark coming into the season was not knowing what our weekend rotation is, and we still don't 100% know what the weekend rotation is. They haven't announced it yet. There's 4 games this weekend, so that's going to be a little tough. I'm assuming probably Mikhail's probably going to start tomorrow. I would assume. And then there's probably going to be a little bit of a mix-up between Sunday, 2 games on Sunday, and maybe try to throw some other guys out there. Maybe throw Helmers again. Maybe throw Edwards. Throw some guys out there and see what we got. Maybe there's some new guys, but Blake Money looked like a Friday night guy, and if he can do it again this weekend and then do it again next weekend's tough. Next weekend they're going to Houston. They're playing that tournament. That's going to be big. They're playing Texas. They're playing Baylor. They're playing. I forgot who else they're playing. Who?
Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma.
Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma. That's 3 really, really good teams.
Have you ever played in the Shriners Classic?
No, we didn't have that when I was here.
Mikey, talk about spite bets.
Yeah.
If they can get some LSU lines out there, you get to go
wait.
against Texas.
I get
you
to go against
against
Baylor.
You
My
get
2
to fuck the
teams
whole
that have been
state.
fucking me all year in my bets, I'm going to bet so much money on LSU.
Give me this $50 free
Just
play.
give me all that because they're losing. Texas them one team in the country. Also, did you see the guy from Texas get hit in the label of the helmet?
and he swung.
He swung full swing, got hit right in the label of his helmet.
I was
thinking
me and
that
Jack
was
were
making you
watching
happy.
that right before the show.
It does.
That's a
I've
tough.
thrown a lot of fastballs like that too, where I'm like,
Look, I've had fastballs at my face that I've swung at like, oh no, this ball's gonna hit me and I can't get out the way, so I gotta swing. But this ball hit him in the helmet, like the label of the helmet, and he swung and struck out.
I thought that was the craziest thing.
At
that
that point, if I swing at a ball that hits me in my helmet and I strike out, I'm not going back. Well, I'm not going to the dugout. I'm leaving. I'm putting my bat down and I'm walking out of the stadium. I'm quitting for that day. I'm retiring for that day of baseball because I can't go into the locker room and face my teammates and my friends and look at them and legitimately say, I struck out, but I got hit in the middle of my helmet.
I checked
in my
swung.
in my
I checked my
forehead.
swing.
I got hit in my
swing.
forehead, but I swung, took a full swing like I was gonna hit a homer. Like
I
hitting the
was
forehead.
thinking that was gonna be like a loop forever. Like that kid's gonna forever be remembered
Forever.
on the internet. Like
forever.
Oh, without a doubt. That's what goes
Without.
viral. He could go 50 for 50 in the next, whatever games,
No doubt.
and he will still be remembered for
Yeah.
getting hit in the head and taking a hack.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody that you remember as like, bro, what were you doing up there? Like,
Up there, I
don't
mean,
wanna
I
say
remember
anything,
when I
but-
knocked the homer over the fence was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, but that's not your fault.
I mean, that was my
That's the
fault.
wind.
Directly my fault.
You
That was
were
absolutely
just a
my
little
fault.
too athletic for your own good.
Or unathletic.
You tried to save it.
I tried to save it, then I dropped the ball. I missed it, and I knocked it over the fence. So that's pretty embarrassing by me.
If Jose Canseco
That's
doesn't
in the Major League
exist-
Baseball, I gave a guy a home run.
Yeah, you're just a nice guy.
I gave it to
Savvy
him.
soul.
Just a good guy.
You did a
Yeah.
point shaver.
I just screenshot this and I'm gonna tag at Mik'd up. I got a little nervous. They changed the odds and it changed for a second, but it
back-
came back.
it came
But I
back.
got more favorable odds for the
Ooh.
the Heat game.
Ooh, there we
Yeah,
go.
change, sorry.
There we go. It's okay.
We're in it. Mik'd
It's
up,
okay.
baby.
We're in it. We're in it.
1300. Let's
It's
go.
in there. It's locked and loaded. What
Let's
you got?
go.
What you got?
No, I'm just thinking for Blake Money, what would you want to see out of him again?
I want to see what he. I want to see a lot of the same thing he did last week. I want to see the guy. I want to see the guy get ahead with his fastball. I want to see him be consistent with that, locate his fastball, get ahead in the count, and be able to put guys away with his off-speed pitches. Right? If you remember, if you watched the Louisiana Tech game, their lefty was throwing 992. Right? He was throwing all strikes. He was ahead of every. Literally, I want to say he got ahead of probably 90% of the guys he faced. First pitch strikes, and he was dominating the inside part of the plate, and nobody could sniff him. Right? He was able to control it, and that by being able to do that, by being able to control the zone, by being able to control your fastball, it opens up the entire rest of the plate. One, it opens up all of your other plays. I mean, you as a pitcher, as an elite pitcher, like being able to establish the heater and being able to get ahead of guys with that fastball makes a huge difference, right?
100%. And I think what Blake did so well last weekend too, like Mikey said, he filled up the zone. He was punching guys out and he was getting ahead of guys. Like he was punching guys out in 4 pitches, and like to have 10 punch outs in the 6th inning with 70, 60 pitches, whatever it was, it was unheard of. Like the amount of strikes and balls, his ratio. So for the Friday night guy to do that, to establish that, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys know as hitters, you want to get back in the dugout as quick as possible, especially when it's cold outside. Like throw strikes, create contact, get out, dominate, and get us back up here.
And that was a big reason why. Wednesday's game was so sloppy. I don't want to say that was the reason, but that was a part. That was a factor, because you had a guy on the mound on the other side controlling the pace. It was his tempo, his time. He was working quick. He was getting ahead of guys. So offensively, it was quick innings. You go on the other side. These guys are putting balls in play. They're walking. They're hitting. They're getting on base with extra errors or however. Innings are getting extended. Now everybody's sitting in the outfield as it's raining and freezing cold, and you're just sitting out there. Innings are longer. You come back into the dugout. You're ready to start hitting. You're not loose. You're tight. You're cold. You're not ready to go. Then you go there. Another 3-up, 3-down inning. You got to go out in the outfield, do it again. Another long inning. So by the time you finally get your footing and you finally get into the rhythm of the game, it's the 5th inning and you're down 5-0.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's part of what he did so well, what Blake Money did so well last Friday, was he controlled the tempo of the game. And as a hitter, you want to try to say, hey, this is my tempo. This is what we need to do. This is what I want to do to be able to control it. But it's hard because the pitcher has the ball. He's in control. So he controls the tempo of it. Now, there's ways hitters can do it. You can call time. You can step out, and pitchers don't like that. They get pretty pissed off. Like, if this guy's on the mound working quick, like there's times where I walk into the box, and I'm not even ready, and this guy's starting, and I call time, and the pitcher looks at me like he's fucking mad at me. Well, hey, dude, let me have some time to get in the box, but that's what they want. They want to be able to control the tempo of the game, because by doing that, it puts the hitter at a disadvantage. And that's what he did so well. And by throwing strikes and getting ahead of guys, you do control the tempo.
Pitching question for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean, you pitch as best as you could. If he starts slow, do you think that messes with him? It's like, man, that first game, everything was hitting. Does he do the same routine? Or is it just like, that was one game, it's baseball, back to business?
You're saying if it didn't go well?
Or, I mean, he went well the first game.
Right.
Is it back to business, same routine? Or
Yeah,
is it?
that's what I would imagine, right? Like, I like to think that a starting pitcher stays in that middle ground, right? No matter what. When it's good, he's never too high, right? And when it's low, it's never too low, right? So he's trying to get right back in there. He pitched really well last weekend. Let's take the good and keep it rolling, but let's not dwell on it and like ride that high too much. So, and same thing if it goes negative.
For Mikey had this. We kind of talked about this during the Louisiana Tech game between hitters and pitchers. Who's affected more by the cold? He obviously went with the hitter route. It's like, oh, you catch one on the inside of the handle, your hand stinks. You hit one good, your hands hurt. Or from the pitcher's perspective, obviously trying to avoid the little blisties, stuff like that. But how is it to pitch in the cold, especially early on?
Yeah, I like it actually. Yeah, like honestly, I like that the hitters are uncomfortable. I'm going to try to create early contact, that kind of stuff. I'm moving every pitch.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better than what they're going through. And as long as I can keep my hand kind of moist a little bit and like blow into it or whatever, No, it's a weird word, but
You always drop a couple of those in there.
Right?
It's okay.
He gives me the look
Yeah.
too when he's like, hey, careful.
Nothing gets past him. Nothing gets past him.
What are you talking about?
His mind stays in the gutter, no
Are you a
doubt.
sleeve or no sleeve guy in the cold?
No sleeve. I always wore 3/4 sleeve, so like no matter what, I was always 3/4 sleeve. Yeah. At the end of my career, then I started doing like a in between 3/4 and regular. Like I don't know what that is, but and I would
Half
always
sleeve?
do that. I don't know. Is that half? Yeah.
Half, maybe?
No, that's half. You're right. Yeah.
But what about with the tattoos? Now, if you could go back, if you had the full sleeves, no matter what, let's show the guns off.
I think I would go more sleeves now and cover the tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, and I kind of like when I can wear something and you don't notice the tattoos, and then you see them.
You're like, oh, damn, he's got hats? I didn't know that. Okay.
That's for the women. That's for the
Who said
ladies.
that? Who said that?
Business?
No, someone says that. Like,
Kevin Durant says that. So
That's what he
his
says,
whole
yeah.
body is tattooed except
Right.
for the things that show on the basketball court, and he's like, well, it's business. So
Yeah, that's what he says. That's what he
Ever heard
says.
of J.R. Smith or quote about his tattoo? He shoots left. And he's like, J.R., why don't you have any tattoos on your left arm? He's like, that arm's only for buckets.
No, but that's a lot of pitchers don't get tattoos on their throwing arm.
Yeah.
They'll get an arm sleeve and they won't get the sleeves on their right arm because you did the same thing.
I didn't do anything here for a long time. It was after
Yeah.
my career that I did it.
Yeah. So that's same. That makes sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I would be doing Dylan Cruz a disservice not to mention it is his birthday today, and I
Happy
predicted.
birthday, Dylan Cruz.
I wish I could do prop bets because I predicted an Oppo homer from him today.
Nice.
The wind's going to be crosswind blowing out. That's his game. He's going Oppo Taco today. He's he didn't have a great game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The top of the lineup really didn't have a great game on Wednesday, but I think you're coming out in today on a mission. It's his birthday. Guy's gonna go out, hit some homers. Lloyd said he's gonna hit 2. I'm just saying 1. I mean, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on the kid. I mean, I think he's gonna hit a homer. He hadn't hit a homer yet this year.
I was gonna say he doesn't have one yet, right?
I say yeah, it's 4
I know,
games,
4
but
games,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
It feels like everybody else is hitting bombs.
Right.
Man, the man's
Speaking
gonna
of
heat
bombs,
up.
Braden Joubert-
Dude, birthday bombs are automatic.
Hey, Braden-
birthday bombs.
Birthday
Braden
bombs,
Joubert.
plural.
Plural.
He
That's
says
what I'm
bombs.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He is
Mikey
going-
doesn't know because his birthday's in November. He never gets to play ball on his birthday.
I don't ever get to play in
There's just
November.
something in the air. You just kind of get out there. It's like feel good. Get to play on your birthday. Things just kind of go your way. It's a gift from
your
the gods.
day.
Little baseball guys. Thank you.
I'm giving him 1. I say Oppo Taco, at least one of them. I like that. That's where he's gonna go. It's gonna be hard to pull it into the wind today, but I think Oppo Taco. You get that ball up in the right center field jet stream, the ball's gonna take off.
What's
It's
the
gonna
wind
go to
doing?
fence. It's going right center. It blows crosswind here.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You got mad at it. We had a guy on. He got mad. He didn't know.
Some guy comes on. Oh, let me explain. What's his name?
Sean Fox.
Sean Fox.
Sean
I mean, you
Fox.
call him out
Hey,
if
look,
you want.
Sean Fox. I'm not saying you're bad at your job because you're good at your job. I can't do your job.
What does he do?
I don't
What's
think
his
he's a
job?
weather guy.
Okay, he's a
No,
weather
he's
guy.
not a weather
He does
guy.
sports in like Monroe.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But we were talking about the weather. Weather was a big factor. And I wasn't asking questions, so I can't get mad because this wasn't brought up. But if I'm talking weather, if I'm a baseball player and I'm talking weather, the number one thing that I'm worried about in the weather, if it's cold and where's the wind blowing? Is the wind blowing in, out? If it's cold, does the wind blow in this field? Does it blow out this field? If it's warm, does it blow out, right? We didn't get that information. So I had to go ahead and call somebody that played at La Tech and say, hey, what happens when the weather gets cold? Does the wind blow in or out? And he said it blows to right field. And he told me to bet the over because there's going to be a lot of homers. Now, there wasn't a ton. There was 2 homers, I think, or 3 homers. 3 home runs in the game. One was a 2-run. I think the other 2 were maybe solos or whatever. The reason why they scored a bunch of runs was because of all of the errors. But I had to get that information. But if you're going to come here and you're going to give me weather information, you tell me where the wind is blowing in baseball. That's important. If a kicker is going out there in the NFL and it's going to be a windy day, or it's going to be a bad weather day, he's going to know where the wind is. He's going to know, okay, this side's. You need to know. You got to go. If you're going to bet, you got to go. You got to know going in. I should have bet the over. I was told to bet the over, and I didn't. I bet the under.
The wind's
It
different
worked
for a
out.
kicker because it's on different sides. Like the wind could be blowing one way on one end.
Yeah, but it's blowing the same direction. The field just flipped. So, like, I get it. Like, the wind's blowing from the east. I mean, I think they're gonna win all 4 games. It's a lot. It's a tough schedule. It's a tough.
They play 4 this weekend, right?
4. They have a doubleheader on Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
On Sunday.
Nice. I want to go watch
Joe-
the weekend.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Joe Bear was hitting 6 against Tech. Do you think he's going to move up in the lineup, or is that the right
I mean, where do you move them now? Because you have
5th, maybe?
Trey Morgan leading off.
Yep.
Barry hitting 2-hole. Cruz hitting 3-hole. Doty hitting 4-hole.
Jordan 5.
Who?
Jordan Thompson.
Was Jordan Thompson 5 last? He maybe he goes to 5. Maybe Joe Barry goes to 5 because now that gives you Trey Morgan lefty, switch hitter, righty. So you have basically lefty, righty, lefty, or lefty, and then wherever the pitcher is, lefty or righty, and then righty, and you have another righty, and now you mix it in with Joe Barry as a lefty. Like you don't want to have. I say you don't want to. Like a lot of managers, coaches try to not stack a lineup one-sided so that if a guy comes in, he's dominating one side of the lineup.
They did I mean, so he was hitting 6 and then Gavin was hitting 7.
Right.
That's pretty tough.
It's tough. Your guy hit 19 homers the year before. Is hitting 8, 7, 8. I mean, I think he hit 8-hole when he was here, like the opening weekend.
Yeah.
Like that's a deep lineup.
Deep.
That's a very deep lineup, And there's guys off the bench that are good. Like Drew Bianco's still on the bench. Like Drew Bianco's I'm not saying he's an All-American hitter, but he's an experienced guy. He's had some homers. He has some juice. He plays great defense. Like the team itself is deep, And I think that I don't want people to panic because they looked bad on Wednesday. It's the 4th game of the season on the road in a tough environment and very cold. It's conditions that they aren't used to playing in. I think they right the ship. They're going to go ahead and win 4 games this week. I think they're going to go ahead and win the midweek games, and they're going to go to Houston next week, and they're going to play, and that's going to be the real test.
You talked a little bit about how this is kind of a tough spot for LSU baseball to be in. They obviously played a midweek game against the top 20 team in Ruston, played on the turf in the cold. That's all that nonsense.
Right.
Didn't play well. And then you have to go into a series where you play Towson and then a doubleheader on Sunday. Then you have to go back on the road for your midweek game, or either home or road for either way, a midweek game on Wednesday, and then you have to go into this strong slate on Friday.
Right.
Do you think that plays a factor at all with not only a first-year head coach, but just trying to kind of get your legs underneath you after you kind of got rocked with the whole new lineup?
So I think the staff, obviously pitching-wise, because the guys aren't really stretched out yet on the mound. I think it affects. Right. I think it helps the hitters to play this much this early. Because now you're getting in a routine, you're getting in a rhythm of having consistent at-bats, kind of getting in the rhythm of a game, getting your routine set. I think it's hard for the pitching staff because you don't really have your pitching staff established yet, right? Like you don't have your weekend rotation established. You don't have these guys stretched out to their innings, right? They're not going out there throwing 6, 7, 8 innings yet. I don't know if Blake Money did, but his pitch count was low, right? Like they're on a pitch limit at this point in the season just because it's so early. So I think they're playing 10 games in 13 days, which in college is a lot, right? Like that's a lot of games in a row when you don't really understand how deep your guys can go, and you don't really have pitchers going deep into games. I mean, they used a bunch of guys on Wednesday. They're going to use a bunch of guys over through the weekend. Hopefully you have guys go deep, your starters go deep, kind of save the pen. You'll have a couple days rest, you'll have a midweek game, and you go play the big dogs over the weekend. I think next weekend is going to be a great test, but I also think it's going to be something where they're going to be pretty pumped up for. They're going to be pretty excited. You're playing in a big league stadium against very, very good. You're playing against the number 1 team in the country. Texas is the number 1 team in the country. So, like,
Heard that before.
Yeah.
We're back.
But if you're gonna play against those teams, like these guys are gonna be excited, and we're good enough to go ahead and beat those guys. So I think that with this early stretch. Now, when we were there, we used to play the opening series, and then we used to play Tuesday, Wednesday midweek game, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're playing the same amount of games. We just didn't have the doubleheader on Sunday. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a tough stretch. It's the beginning of the seasons are always hard, right? Like, wouldn't you agree? Like, the beginning of the season is always a hard thing to do because it's new. Like, you want to feel the rhythm of the season. You want to kind of get into the routine, but it takes a little bit, especially with the weather. It's changing. You don't really know.
Especially new team, new coaches, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, right? You're trying to find out where everybody goes in the lineup. And like you said, too, like where pitchers fit in the rotation. And it's hard to tell that early in the year when they're not stretched out. So it's all new. And it's like, to me, that's why I'll watch the games and it's fun and it's exciting. And it's fun to get to know the names, the players, the faces, all that stuff. But I don't take into account anything seriously until 20, 25 games in. Like,
Right.
I mean, unless something's disastrously bad, right? Like, and we're like 13-12 or something.
Yeah.
You're almost
then-
looking at these like extended practices almost. Like
Yeah,
we're just
I mean-
we want to win. We don't necessarily care what happens.
Right.
We just want to figure out your rotation, figure out their
Correct.
lineup, like
Yeah.
who plays where.
Make sure everybody's
Because,
healthy.
You
know,
want to feel like the season's doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You want to feel like every game, every series we're improving. Every series we're getting better. Every series I see somebody doing something to improve themselves, right? Like that's what you're looking for. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see a bad game on Wednesday and then a bad game on Friday and then a sloppy game on Saturday, and you're eking out through games that you should be beating teams by 5, 6, 7, 8 runs or losing to them, right? Like, you don't want to see these bad games compound each other, right? Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but the one thing you can fix is making sure you're mentally involved in the game, like you're mentally locked in, and make all of the routine plays defensively. That's really like, going into the game tonight, that's what I want to see. Is like, hey, are these guys going to make the plays? Are they going to make the throws? Are they going to come out there and say, hey, we're going to play a clean game defensively? And if they do that, then that tells me, okay, they saw what happened. That was a fluke. It was an anomaly. Now we're back to who we are. We know who we are, and we're back to the team that we know we are. The team that we know that we can be. But if you go and you see this game on Friday tonight and you say, well, shit, I mean, they're booting balls again. They're not making the routine plays. They're not throwing balls across the field. Pitchers aren't throwing strikes. Like, okay, that's 2 games. Like, we got to figure this thing out. And now you're playing a team that's not as good as Louisiana Tech. So if that happens, it continues to do, then you say, okay,
Right.
maybe we need to make some changes, but I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? I think Jay's got a good pulse of the team. I think he's done a really good job. I loved his interview mid-game when they weren't playing well. He didn't make any excuses. He's like, no, I'm not. It has nothing to do with the conditions. It has everything to do with us playing like crap.
Right.
Basically.
So they play Texas on Saturday next week.
Right. They
Would
play
you
Baylor on Friday, right?
Baylor on Friday. Would you save Blake money for Saturday against Texas, or would you let him go Friday and let him do his normal?
I think at this point in the season, you go to the same rotation.
Yeah, me too.
He's your Friday guy. You pitch him Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't
switch your routine.
mess it up just because it's not the postseason.
Right. It's
You
not
know?
a tournament even.
Yeah.
Really. It's just kind of
Right.
like a
Three
big
games.
showcase.
Wow.
Yeah, like hey,
thing.
it's awesome. It's an awesome opportunity, but it's not an opportunity where you say, hey, you know what? We are going to save him for Saturday. Like that's just
Right. No.
look. You beat Texas, that's great. You lose to Texas, you lose to them. Like it's,
whatever. Yeah.
but you got other guys have to step up on the mound. Like other guys have to be able to be counted on the mound.
Yep.
You can't just rely on one guy. If you do,
Because he can only pitch one game.
Skip Bertman used to say you need 2.5 pitchers to win the World Series. 2.5 starters. You need a guy, you need a nails Friday night guy, a nails Saturday night guy, you need a guy on Sunday who can get you through 5.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Sunday you need to outscore the team, but you need a guy who can get you through 5 innings, and then you have a couple guys at the pen that you can count on. 2.5 guys to be able to get you through the series is what he said. Now obviously baseball is a little bit different. Now you have guys like You know, you have guys like – you got Tennessee throwing 103 miles an hour.
103.
No, I didn't see that.
Hold up.
103 miles an hour out the bullpen.
What?
I think he's out the bullpen. Was he a starter? He's out the
That's
bullpen,
crazy.
I think.
But yeah, I don't, and also to the Blake money thing too. I think just the risk isn't worth the reward too,
Right.
right? If you start him Saturday and he gets shelled or something, you don't know what that's going to do for his confidence,
No
his
doubt.
routine, all these different things.
And
right?
as
Like,
pitchers, y'all are so routine based, right? Like
that's
you're
what I mean. It's just
so
not worth it.
you're so like, hey, this is my regimen. This is what I do every Friday. I know every Friday I'm getting the ball. Like that's important.
And I think the team looks forward to that too, right? Like, hey, this is our guy. First game of the series, he sets the tone. It becomes the identity as that. Like, it doesn't matter who it's against, type thing.
Well, you can tell he wears a cowboy hat.
I love his
Me
whole,
too. Like
his,
it's a great thing. Like you can tell.
Where's he from? Do we know?
Tennessee.
He is.
You know what his little brother's name is?
Yeah, Cash.
Cash. Unbelievable.
He was a great bullpen guy too.
Yeah.
This last season, I went to a game and like I sat by the bullpen and he was just like mingling with the fans, like just having fun.
Who, Blake?
Blake,
That's
yeah, because
awesome.
he was in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's just like.
he knew he wasn't playing. So
Yeah.
he's like, "What's up, y'all?" Like
Yep.
throwing balls.
No
to the
doubt.
kids, like just having fun.
And that's
Love
what I mean. I like his demeanor. I like his
Yeah.
attitude. I like his vibe. Like I just think
Doesn't
that
take himself too serious.
Yeah.
He's confident. Like.
and guys want to play for him. Like guys
Yeah.
like playing behind him because of who he is.
Yeah.
And this like I don't know the guy personally. I'm just going based off of what I am seeing
Yeah, I'm on it.
as a fan. So I'm on that for sure. I'm on him for sure. And I think this weekend's going to be a good weekend. Obviously the competition is a little bit lesser than it was on Wednesday, but you still got to go out there and you still got to throw strikes and get base hits and score runs and win games.
Has Mikal Hilliard played yet?
Yeah.
Okay, through Saturday,
signing?
through last Saturday. He had 2.5 good innings,
4.5.
and then he kind of gave up some runs. So
Well, that's what I mean. If he's not being able to throw the bender, then it's
his bender was good. He has to
But
be able to,
he's
he
easy
has
to-
to be able to establish his fastball. So, and I know I said that with Blake. That's what he did so well. But even though he only throws mid to upper 80s, if he throws a curveball for a strike, if he can, that fastball is going to play a little harder. So he's going to have to be able to locate that fastball and get ahead with the fastball, and it makes his breaking ball that much better. It already is elite, but it makes it that much better if he can get ahead with his heater. I'm talking about Mikal. His breaking ball is elite. And if he can just get ahead with his heater and just let them respect it enough to where they're not sitting on his breaking ball, it's gonna.
you almost have to
make a
go
big
to bat
difference.
to him backwards, to where you're looking curveball every time. If you can't get it over,
No
then
doubt.
at some point he's gonna have to throw
Well,
you something.
if I was facing him, I would be sitting breaking ball.
yeah.
You're going to get it at least once
Yeah.
on the at bat. So he's got to throw a strike, right? So.
I would sit
Especially if
breaking
he's not
ball.
throwing the heater for strikes.
No doubt.
Eliminate those pitches.
No doubt.
That's when you have to kind of. You also have to
Exactly,
take him
yeah.
out.
Exactly.
This
No
thing
doubt.
isn't working today.
I would wait if
Like
I don't
Zito.
see if I don't see the pitch pop out of his hand, I'm not swinging. I'll take fastballs. And that's weird to say, but if I'm hitting against him, that's what I would do. I'll just take fastballs. But that's why it's important for him to be able to throw that to show that he can throw that fastball for strike whenever he wants, so that people can't just do that. So I know you got to get out of here, right? So we're gonna take another little 30-second break. Let Anthony get out of here. Get the boys moving into the table so we
Yes.
don't look like we're too empty, and then we're gonna shut this thing down. We have about 15 minutes after this, and then we'll go home.
Thank you
Love
for
to go
having
to
me
the
again,
weekend.
dude. This was always
Hope
fun.
you can come every Friday.
I'm planning.
Every
It's on my
Friday,
schedule,
that's it.
yeah.
Every
It's on
Friday,
my
you're on
schedule.
there.
And I'm gonna start doing like card breaks at the shop. So I'll come right from here, go right there, and do like card breaks on my
Perfect.
Friday night.
You're
It's gonna be part
vibed
of my-
up. That's great.
It's already part of my
if
life
you
routine.
if you can get on his schedule, that means you're good.
Yeah, that's
that means you're good.
You gotta get on the
That means you're good. He's organized.
I'm trying to be organized.
He's
I'm trying.
organized.
I'm not organized.
He's
I'm trying.
organized. He's organized. All right, we're gonna take a 30-second break. We'll be right back here. It's Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We're gonna get you out of here on this Friday, Mardi Gras weekend. It's just Fred's Friday. Ranaudo was here. Mitch was here. The boys are still in the I don't want to call it the studio, but still on the stage.
Still live, baby.
We're still hanging out. We have about 10-ish minutes left. We're gonna go with. We're gonna get to our curtain calls. We're gonna get to a little bit of the. We're gonna do a little bit more betting, a little betting update of what we have going on, so y'all can keep track with that. But I forgot to mention Saturday, there is a double whammy, right? You can double dip. LSU basketball at night, LSU baseball in the day.
Who do they have?
You go by LSU. No, Arkansas.
Oh, no, at Arkansas,
No, it's
too.
at home, I think.
Is it at home or I think it's at Arkansas.
Oh, is that Arkansas?
I think
No.
it's at Arkansas.
Is that Arkansas?
It's Missouri.
Where are they playing?
Missouri at LSU. Missouri
LSU
at
basketball
Missouri.
plays Missouri at home.
Yes, LSU basketball
Boom.
plays Missouri.
We're
That's
sports
a
talk.
much easier
We're,
bet than taking
we're
Arkansas.
sports talking. We don't know what we're talking about.
Wednesday is LSU
That's
at
it.
Arkansas.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
Just a game ahead.
That's my bad. I was looking at the
schedule-
ranking.
Oh,
I was looking at the
look
ranking
ahead
matchups.
game.
I know I
Put
can't
yourself
do
in a look
that.
ahead
I can't
spot.
do that. I can't do that. But it's a double dipper. You go out to the LSU baseball game. It's a day game. You go buy tickets to the LSU baseball game, and I think you can get into the basketball game. You get both.
That.
So hey, that's a big day. That's a big
day for the balcony Bengals.
Hey, it's gonna be
Big
bad.
balcony Bengals day.
Bad. Yeah, it's a tough day for them. A good day, but
Good
tough
day, but a tough day. No
Tough
school.
day. It's gonna be a lot of drinking.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be bad weather, kind of overcast weather for the weekend, like cold. Go outside, watch the Tigers play, warm up with some whiskey, some beer, and then just walk on over, or drive on over, whatever you want to do,
Oh.
to the PMAC.
Uber.
Yeah, don't drive. Don't drive. Just joking. Ride.
Nice view.
Ride,
Drive
walk,
responsibly.
do whatever you need to do, but go over to the PMAC, and then they got the LSU basketball game that night. I may do that.
Mikey, that's a tall task.
I may do that.
It is the tall time.
Monday
That's
night-
true.
Monday show?
I have to go one or the other.
Yeah.
One or
Do
the
it.
other.
If we want to, we can throw a shirt on, go balcony Bengal style. I'll do it.
Okay,
Basketball
we'll figure it
game.
out. We'll
Celeb.
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Baseball starts at 6:30. Basketball's at 7:30.
No, I thought the baseball's a day game.
Baseball's at 6:30 on
6:30
Wednesday.
today.
Today?
Coach, double dipper on Saturday.
Oh,
Saturday. He's on Wednesday.
You're on Wednesday. See,
Yeah,
Sorry,
we all
Coach,
know
I'm
how
looking
Stewie
ahead.
pre-games for this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Don't be bad.
He's your least met of.
Oh, without a doubt.
Help
Yeah.
us out, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get you out of here. We got our curtain calls, right? And we're evolving. We had a great team meeting yesterday. We're gonna have some cool curtain call graphics. We're gonna be able to show. We're gonna be a little bit more visual. We're gonna be a little bit more interactive. But until then, we have our curtain call. It's our last segment. It's our go home segment. One of our go home segments. And for me, my curtain call is to our guy. Our guy has gotten me out of a gambling hole and gotten me back on top of the gambling world, and I feel good about myself. He is 8-2. He got me all my money back, and he just sent us some bets that we're gonna put out on Twitter. We said them verbally earlier, which I will recap for you right now, actually. He sent me the Winnipeg Jets, which is in the NHL, if we're not big hockey fans down here in the South. +2, Winnipeg Jets +2, Harvard +7.5, St. Louis +3, and he has the Heat money line and Suns money line, and he parlayed both of those. Those will be on Twitter, but I want to give a curtain call to my guy.
Made a lot of money.
Oh, you're gonna clap for him. We're actually gonna,
I've been riding the guy too. Like
All right.
for doing my
Okay.
curtain call
Okay.
because he dug me out of a little hole.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, these bets, like you said, ride the hot hand. These are must takes. I don't care what
Must-takes.
they are.
If you're hot, you ride it out. You ride
You're
it
hot,
out.
you're
You
hot.
ride it out. No doubt about it. What you got? You got one.
I do. I have a special one.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Coach Terry. 10 years ago yesterday, taught me everything I know about basketball. 10 years ago yesterday, he passed away tragically. Early death shouldn't have happened, but those things happened. But shout out to him. Wouldn't be the man I am today. Wouldn't be able to fool you with baseball
There you
knowledge
go.
that I
Love
have
that. Love
without
that.
Coach Terry. So curtain call to
Curtain
him,
call to
former
Terry.
big leaguer. Shout out Marcus,
Yep.
just had a kid,
Yep.
married, whole thing.
What?
So a lot of family love going on.
I
Got
appreciate
to see him
that.
last
Shout
weekend.
out. Curtain call,
Excellent,
Coach
excellent
Terry.
stuff.
No, not really a curtain call, but more of a happy trails. Happy trails. See you later. COVID. I'm going to Mardi Gras.
We beat
It's
them.
over.
We beat it?
COVID, we beat it.
COVID's out.
We beat COVID.
Yeah.
We beat COVID.
Yeah.
We beat COVID. We did it. It was a victory over COVID.
My curtain call is John Emery, LSU running back. He's back. He's in shape. Back in class.
Okay.
Doing his thing.
Okay.
Frank Wilson's in.
Okay, I respect that. I know to Lloyd's displeasure, we're gonna leave here a little bit early. Start a
No,
little late,
no, we
leave a little
gotta
early.
break the set down.
Look, we
whiskey
gotta break
evening?
the set down. We gotta, look, we're on the road. This is great. This show we're gonna do. We have a couple more weeks here at Fred's. We're probably gonna do a lot more than that, but guaranteed a couple more weeks here. These shows have been great. We've had a lot of great feedback. I want to thank Fred's again for letting us come out here and do this. This is. First of all, walked into Fred's, went into the bathroom at Fred's, the cleanest I've ever seen Fred's.
Yeah, so it's not their fault. It's on us.
Yeah, so that's our fault, obviously.
That's
They
the
keep this
addition of
shit,
all the people.
They keep this shit here tight, right? So I want to appreciate them, and I want to thank them for allowing us to do this. All right, thank you to all my sponsors. Thank you to Sterling Automotive. Thank you to Lance Beals. Thank you to Dozy Place. Thank you to Dos Equis and Heineken. Thank you for everybody who's made this possible, because this is not possible just on my own. We have a lot of help doing this thing, and I think this thing is going to be huge, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be big, and we can't do it without our loyal followers, our loyal listeners, our loyal viewers, all of you. We can't do this without y'all. So next time we do Fred's, it's going to be a lot better weather and a lot more people. We have some crawfish. Who knows? The weather's nice. When the weather starts warming up, we do some crawfish boils, and we get in here, and I want to make this into a big tailgate for baseball. What's that? Yeah, we got the suck it sign. I got the suck it sign. I love that.
Wait, what coach did that? Where did we see the suck it recently?
There was a grad assistant in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin coach.
That's it. Remember, we were explaining the you have to get the hip
Yeah,
thrust.
he went-
He didn't have good hips.
It's not just the hands. It's the hip thrust with the hands.
thrust.
That's
The
what you
hips
do.
were a
It
little
looks like
too
you were
tight.
just making love to Dos Equis right there.
Hey.
Hey,
It
maybe
is.
maybe
I love
that'll
me
happen
some
for
Dos
you.
Equis. I love me some
Have a
Dos Equis.
sixer?
That's it. But
Six some.
okay, we'll have a happy, safe Mardi Gras weekend.
Please be safe.
Please be safe. If you're going to New Orleans, be safe. If you're going down to where's it? Parades in Spanish Town?
Yes.
Spanish Town.
Spanish Town and Baton Rouge. Be safe. You're going to Youngsville parades. Be safe. You're going to Lafayette. Be safe. If you're going out to any type of Mardi Gras parades, be safe. A lot of crazies out
Might
there.
try to make an appearance in NOLA too. We don't
Yeah.
we
Okay.
don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Oh,
we all over the place.
over under 5.5 boobs you get to see this weekend.
I've
I
never
want to
seen a
go
boob
over.
in New Orleans.
I'm taking the over.
I've never seen a boob in New Orleans. for
Coach,
Mardi Gras. Never.
Coach, I'm taking the
Never.
over.
Oh!
Coach, I'm taking the over, Coach. Coach.
6 boobs.
5.5.
Five,
You gotta
someone
set
just
the
throw
over
one
under. Yeah, I don't want to push.
Okay.
Yeah, but what if
I
there's
mean, I
one girl
wish.
out there with just
I
one?
guess I'm missing out. I've never seen one in New Orleans.
I've seen a woman fully naked and like her body was painted.
Is it fully naked if your body's painted?
Yes, for sure. Well, I mean,
I mean, you don't have
guess.
clothes on, so yeah, right?
Paint. You could get away with a lot if you painted your body as a.
And she was like tiger.
I think
painted,
you're
like,
naked.
painted
I think
like a tiger.
that's naked. I think that's naked.
cold.
I
All
loved
right.
it.
Naked. It's
Naked.
naked.
Let's
go
get
home.
naked.
Let's let everybody go home. They're over it.
All right.
Everybody's over it. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. And you're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.